go again, losing all the fight. All of our enemies, there is no remedy. Reaching the time, feels so sublime. Oh, it will never end.
I'm sure you get flowers at your funeral, at diamonds at your memorial, but no one will mourn you at your grave. Bury me in the permafrost. I'll rise again when all you have is lost. Oh, when all the precious things are gone. Oh, when they all find out it was all a con. YoHallo! Welcome in, everybody! Welcome in! How y'all doing? These nuts. The pause before too. Anyway, hi everyone. Let me take my headphones off. I don't know why I had them on because I can't even hear anything anymore with all the settings I have to have with the sound and that. Hi, how are y'all doing? It's Tuesday. I had lasagna. So you know what that means. Dude, I had the lasagna and it literally took me out. Like I passed out. I had to go to bed. I had to go lay down. I ate a Tums like almost immediately. It hit me immediately. Like, and then I had to take a Tums immediately. And then I laid my ass down and it was just like, wow, I am suddenly very tired. And I just took a nap. I was out. I was gonna start stream a little bit earlier today, but I fell asleep because my body was rejecting the lactose because I don't tolerate it and was rejecting it completely, and so I knocked out. And then when I got up, I was like, okay, great, I can still make it, but I've been having issues with the Spotify widget, as you guys know, and then I realized that maybe there was like an update, so then I had to like figure out how to reinstall it and everything again, and that was just like a mess because like I forgot everything. So finally I got it to work though, and I think we should be good at this point. I don't have to update it again according to what the seller told me, so I'm like, all right, great. But yeah, what a mess, man. What an absolute mess. And so that's why I'm late. But today, I'm looking forward to today. So originally, I was supposed to continue playing Silent Hill 2, the remake, but I finished it last week. So happily, I'm glad I did. And so instead, I was like, okay, what am I going to do for Tuesday and Wednesday, today and tomorrow? And then I realized that I cannot stream tomorrow, or will not be streaming tomorrow, because I have to do some stuff for the house. Proud hoe right here. If anyone doesn't know, I'm a homeowner. I'm not living in the home yet. I'm moving at the end of this month, but proud hoe, okay? First hoe right here. But yeah, so I have to be moving and stuff at the end of this month, but I also need to do some stuff for the house beforehand. And so tomorrow they scheduled like a walkthrough. It's like required, because it's like a new home, and the constructors, or like construction people, or the builders, they have to like do a walkthrough with me to like show me, you know, everything, what they did to the house, like how they built it, essentially. Not like foundationally, but just like some things to know about the house. And then I'm supposed to go and like point out things that like this needs to be fixed, or, you know, stuff like that. So it's kind of like my, not the last chance, but it's one of the chances to be able to speak up about like, hey, you know, maybe this door doesn't close properly, or this light doesn't work, and things like that. So I have to do all that tomorrow, and it's probably going to take like 2 hours just to do the walkthrough with them, which is like really annoying because people. And you know, yeah. Also having to talk about problems. I'm not good at being vulnerable, you know what I mean? I'm not good at like opening up and talking about myself and talking about my problems and the issues, you know. Just kidding. But yeah, so I'm doing that tomorrow, and it's not gonna be fun, and I don't know if I'll get back home in time, essentially. So that's why I'm saying that I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow, is because I don't think I'll get back home in time, because it is a long drive. So yes, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. And then also too, where the point that I was trying to get to, the train is arriving at the station now. Basically, I was trying to figure out what to do for these 2 days, but then I realized I don't have 2 days. So it's really just one day. And so I was like, oh, I've been wanting to do a stream talking about like my experience at cons, like fully. But there's also like this rising trend that I've been seeing, that I would like to like discuss and talk about. And I know people ask me for my opinion, or just like how I do things with like bringing VTubing to, you know, cons and whatnot. And I always like try to give an answer, but most of the time if it's like in DMs, it's really hard. Like I answer, but I can't give like an actual answer because it's like it's such a long thing, you know. And I've said this to people before, but people who ask like how do you do it or what is your setup, it's like so silly because it's like for me like I don't know how to explain it because it's like I only have this setup because of like you know things that I had in my past life and whatnot before VTubing and my knowledge from that. And so it's really complicated, and with the rising trend that I've seen of VTubers trying to attend conventions like through mobile rigs and the robots and stuff, I wanted to talk about some of the challenges with that and like kind of how you might be able to make the most out of that situation, because I think there's a lot of unknowns when you're trying to do it. And I just want to address, like, here are the things that I've learned and, like, the things that I kind of wish I knew before I got into it. So that's, like, what I wanted to do today. So I have, like, a little slide deck presentation because, you know me, I love Microsoft PowerPoint. So I have that to pair along with my experiences and whatnot at conventions. But I've been to over 20 different conventions or events, essentially. So I have a lot of experience in doing that. My capacity being there has been across like mobile rig, on the robots, at a booth as well, having an entire booth set up. And then also doing like panels and performances and stuff like that too. So, you know, at the end of the day, all of it kind of boils down to how you want to attend a con, because some people like they attend in person as well, and like I don't personally do that, but other people do. And so then that's like an entirely different like thing and setup. There's probably less things you have to worry about. So it's like it's a big like it's one large just a tree with many branches and many different fruits hanging from it that I don't always have the answer to, right? I can't always reach up to pick those, but hopefully I can at least provide some like my general learnings and experience from everything. And anyway, I'll talk about it more in depth in a little bit, but that's all I wanted this stream to be, was just me yapping essentially so, about those things. I'll also be doing like a light Q&A at the end of it, so if people have questions or anything like that about cons, or I guess things generally, then I can take it at the end too. So yeah, you'll know when you can ask questions. But also, I won't be looking at the chat as much when I'm getting through the slide deck, just so I can focus. Because when I look at the chat, then I'll probably get super derailed. So yeah, but I'll get back to the chat like towards the end of it, essentially. So anyways, now though, I can look at the chat, okay? So I will do that. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you're having a decent day. I know it's been a weird week for a lot of people. So, Hebe, thank you for the follow. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Also, Autumn, thank you for the refollow. Appreciate it. See that? That's called gratitude. Okay, Autumn? You didn't show that to me. You didn't thank me for the refollow when I did it on your stream. Okay? I'm messing with you. Anyway, let's see. Well, yes, welcome in, everybody. Hebe is one of the people that will be performing in one of the group collab songs for the concert. So if you haven't already, please do check out Hebe. Can you guys give him a quick shout out? Or I can do it. Hold on. Let's see who gets to it faster. Ooh, I did! I got to it faster! Okay, damn! Okay, thank you. Alright. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? What's up, what's up, what's up? Let's see. Thank you for being first. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've seen you, Sojourner. Good to see you. Hello, Imagine. How are you doing? YoHallo, Rigby. Thank you for being here. What's up, Xavier? Hello, hello. Let's see. Hi, Kai. How are you? What have you been up to? You must be really busy. I feel like you're such a busy person, or you just got like a lot of stuff going on at work. Maybe. I think everybody's got a lot of stuff going on at work like lately. You know what I mean? I like pies. That's fair. Respectable. Let's see. Let's go. 8 months. Thank you, Zio, for the resubscribe. Why was 8, 9? All right. Thanks. Thanks. Oh my gosh. I could definitely goaded this stream into version in the Discord. For sure. For sure. Yes. Not goaded. Goaded. All right. Goated means to annoy someone to the point where they do what you want. What? Really? Is that now a thing? Is that always been a thing? See, this is what I mean. I can't be near the social media internet because then I'm just like, you just misspelled goated. Greatest of all time. Okay? I can't tell when people are using actual English or not, so I just assume they're not at this point. That's basically what ends up happening. Let's see. Kōri does not have an English degree. That's true. I have a English degree in with an emphasis on creative writing. So anyway. Yeah, she does. She uses it every time I say you're true. Exactly. Hi, Kōri. Hello in the house. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Lasagna. Exactly. Can I have some lasagna also? I ate most of it, but yes, 100%. You are welcome to have some. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Just do it. Just okay. She does a D's joke. I unfollow Shogun. True. You fought the lasagna and lost. I did, yeah. I mean, the lasagna did look fire, though. It was fire. It was great. And then it just, like, hit me so hard. It hurt me so bad. Oh, man. It sucks. I really, like, I love stuff with cheese and dairy in it, but my body rejects it. And I'm just like, no, please, stop rejecting it. Just let me be free. Let me be who I am. This is me. I love cheese. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Lactose, no herd of it. Same, Zia. No herd. Okay. No herd, only listen. Yeah. I'm lactating right now. That's crazy, dog. I don't lactose. I have an extra 11 toes is normal for my species. See, the issue is that we've already made that joke. Anyway, this with you, Shogun. Lactose, but I didn't sneeze. All right. I love that piece from Mozart. That's so wild. No, I'm not a hoe yet. Listen, real homeowner right here. Okay. Homeowner's lactose, apparently. Good luck at work, Zio. What the actual heck did you say? Are you hiring an independent inspector for the home? So I thought about it. Don't get me wrong, because like I know that there was the builders, like inspectors and stuff like that, but since it's a brand new home, it's already passed all of the regulations, like by the state. Like the state had to come in and like make sure that it's all good and whatnot. So nah, I didn't really. I thought about it though, but it would have just been like, you know, more or less potentially the same thing. I talked to my real estate agent about it too, and she was like, you don't have to do that. Like you can, but it's also like a little bit complicated because there's like, I think there's some kind of extra paperwork involved. And so I was like, you know what, more paperwork? Hell nah, dog. That's all they've been seeing. Like people ask me like, oh, how's the new house? I'm like, I'm not living in it yet. It's just like a lot of paperwork. Oh, how's the new house going? Paperwork. It looks like a lot of paperwork, and that's like all I've said because that's all it's been. I haven't moved in yet, so yeah. Anyway, let's see. Hey Kōri. Hello, Kazuma Kaito. Hey Kōri, wanted to wish you an amazing stream and super bright weekend. Thank you. Heck yeah, for sure. We got CuriouCon this weekend, so really excited about that. Hi Kōri. Hi Vaughn. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in. Thanks for coming by. Have a great rest of the stream, everyone. I'll try to sneak back in. No worries, Zio. Good luck at work. I hope you can get off early or something. I don't know. Have a chill day. What is a Kōri-Oujo Miss VTuber? What is a Kōri-Oujo? I was like, what are you saying to me, Kai, right now? Like, I'm trying to decipher this, and then I just realized what you're saying. Haha. Very funny. You know, a Kōri-Oujo is basically when you shit a little too hard and your butthole burns. That's what a Kōri-Oujo is. Anyway. YoHallo, Cosmic. Good to see you. What's up? Yeah, you shouted them out before the stream caught up. That's cheating. Nah, not cheating. Get your internet speeds up, bruh. Okay? Get that latency gains, you know? I'm always busy at work and other communities. That's fair. Yeah. That's okay. And that's okay. That's totally fair. I totally get it. The raccoons are cute. Yeah, I know they're so cute. I love them. I saw the post. The lasagna looks so yum. It was pretty good, but definitely is sitting tough within me right now. Cheese is so poppin'. You're so real for that. Same. Exactly. That's how I feel. I used that lactose joke already. Oh yeah. Well, did you know that it's not 6 toes on 1 foot? It's actually 3 and 8. So yeah, stick that in your juice box and suck it. I think you also told that to us before as well. Am I like making that shit up? I don't think I am. I feel like you actually have made that joke about like more toes being on 1 foot than the other. Because I swear I've heard that you say that before. I'm not joking. Like, I legit think you said that joke already, unless I'm like in a different universe. But I remember that joke. Anyway, but it's okay. It's okay to reuse jokes. I do it all the time. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, Kentucky. What's up? How are you doing? Hello, Sin. Kōri, apologies for not being as active. Work and school suck. No, I totally get it. You're good. You're good. And as long as you keep up the great work with all them gains and gaining knowledge as well, okay, and money, that's all gains right there, okay? That just sounds like 100% gains. You have nothing to be apologetic about. No worries. I think, like, yeah, some people are going through finals right now, probably, or have just finished them. I know, like, some people are on spring break. Oh, my God. So I had to go to a particular government facility today to get some shit figured out. And it was insane. It was insane. It was so busy. Like, it was ridiculous. I mean, they always are like that, but it took me like 4 hours. Like, I shit you not. I was so pissed. Anyway. But why do I say that? I don't know, mostly just to complain, and also because I noticed that there were so many people out, and I was like, don't you guys, like, have a job? Me, who also has a job, and it was supposed to be working, but I was not working, and, I was like, don't you guys have a job? But then I was like, oh, it's, like, spring break, because Goat Mom just said that, I mean, I know Goat Mom, I think, has high school as, well, is working at a high school, but, you know, she said that the spring break just started, so I was like, maybe spring break is happening right now. I don't know that for a fact, though. So, yeah. And also, obviously, that's high school, but yeah. I need new material. I'm getting rusty. It's okay. It's okay. Respect it. So, you're telling the joke again for the people who didn't hear it, you know, before. So, all the new people, right? Even what are you doing here, Zio? Oh my gosh, I love how Zio's like, I gotta go back to work, and then like I'll sneak back on later, and then like sneaks back on like immediately like 5 minutes later. It's so great. It's like, that's like your character arc right there. It's great. It's part of your character. New material, Shogun. No, we use the same shit. True. All right, same shit, different diaper. You know what I mean? Anyway, like, can we catch up on YouTube chat? Hello, Conway. Hello, Nick. How are y'all doing? YoHallo, Shogun! Happy Poos Day. Yep. Let's see. Hi, MLG. Good to see you. No, that was YoHallo. Thank you. The lasagna hitting. There it goes. There's a lasagna. Do you, like, hate yourself or something? Now, to be fair, I had the lasagna with salad. Because I'm a slim, thickety woman right here. I had some salad with the killer lasagna. So just letting you know, okay? I'm on a diet. I'm just kidding, but I did have salad with it because I was like, this is not gonna come out nice or easy. Let me get a little bit of like greens in there. You know what I mean? I gotta have a varied colored shit. Is this TMI? Anyway, how stuff is understandable. Yes, I'm excited to be done with it and just moved in, but it's like the anticipation, you know, because it's like I live in a place where I know I'm going to be moving out, so I don't, like, get anything that, like, I know that I will need when I have the house. And then I have to, like, think about, oh, I have to, you know, pack everything. So I did a lot of, like, packing and, you know, boxing up stuff and whatnot. But it's also complicated because, I mean, I'm still living here, so I can't box everything up, obviously. Anyway, it's just the anticipation, like, of knowing that I have to be moving out at the end of this month and, like, how stressful that's going to be. I know that I'm, like, in my head making it way more stressful than it will be, but I don't know. Anyway, Hell yeah, I love me some slide decks. Yeah, slide decks. Woo! I feel like lactose intolerant people go out of their way to eat more dairy than lactose tolerant folks, purely out of spite. Yeah, that's honestly pretty real. I have these dairy digestive capsules, these pills, and it does help, but sometimes it doesn't help a lot. And there's only like 3 in here at this point in time, and I think I just opened this. There's supposed to be 60 in here, and there's only like 3 left, and I think I opened this like maybe a few weeks ago. So you may be right, but that's it. You're right. Anyway. Oh my gosh. What's up, Alex? Great speed. Good to see you. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. I think we're going to be getting the podcast episode that we recorded with Alex and Michael Klein, Michael Klein's our NASCAR driver partner. We're gonna be getting that up soon on Gray Speed Production, aka Alex's channel. So look out for that. It might even be out already. But yeah, don't ever call yourself Slim Thickety ever again, please. Why not? What do you mean? Why not? Why can't I be called Slim Thickety? Okay, what do you mean? See, Vector said Slim Thickety in quotations. Okay, that means that's a thing. That it's a quotable, all right? Why did you use so many? Yeah. Oh, right, Smite, exactly. Did she just say I was right? Hell yeah, I could try her now. Listen, I've said that you were right many times. Except for many other times. But, besides the point. Anyway, let's see. My arc reel. Thank you for the burp. Same shit, different diaper. It's called recycling. Okay, there you go. I could smell that lasagna from here. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Salad. Nah, what do you mean? Literally be denying the fact I might be. Wait, literally me denying. Oh, hold on. My mom's calling me. There's too much happening right now. My mom's calling me. Dang it, I was muted. Oh my god. Hold on. Okay. All right. Sorry. I was reading the chat. I thought I unmuted myself. Okay, I'm back. My bad. All right, let's see. Let's not talk about the diet, moving weight, but the fatigue and hunger suck. Ugh, yeah, I bet, Sin. I can't really hold myself back to try to diet. I mean, I can in some ways, but most of the ways I can't. Anyway, literally me denying the fact I might be lactose. Listen, Zio, the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can try to prevent really bad stomach aches. But that's all I'll say. It's up to you, really. Sometimes it's like, what is it called? I'm losing the term in my head right now. But placebo effect, you know what I mean? Where you're like, I'm not lactose intolerant, and then you feel like you have more of a defense and like you feel less like shit. But if you accept it, then maybe you you recognize it. You're like looking hyper focused on it, so then you feel it more. So it's however you want to live your life, really. But if you do have it, then you can recognize like, oh, I need to like take a pill or something like that for that. Anyway, imagine not being able to consume dairy. Womp womp, skill issue. Damn, that's so wild. Yeah, no, real. 100%. I'm just playing life on hard mode. Okay. Mama Kōri's jump scare. Yeah, no, legit. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Nah, but Taco Bell slaps. True. They bring it back, the chicken nuggets and the Taco Bell ranch. Oh my god. They also just announced something about a passion fruit Baja Blast too, right? So Taco Bell's going places. That's all I'm saying. Slim Thickety was my nickname in high school, or sorry, in college, not high school. I earned that shit in Vegas. All right, Shogun. I don't want to know how you earned that shit in Vegas, but I'll respect you saying that. Don't worry. All right. Okay, I'm going to start getting into the core of the stream here now that we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to run a quick ad on Twitch so it doesn't bother us later. Sorry about that, everybody. It'll be quick and it won't bother us later, and that's the point. Anyway. They did, but they already had passion fruit Baja Blast. They sold it in cans. Yeah, I know. You sent that picture, and I was like, oh, well, that's weird. Anyway, I saw that about the new Baja. Yeah, right, MLG? Anyway, well, we're here now. We're living in this universe where I don't know. We've got the Baja Blast passion fruit. You would know, Shogun, Mr. Drink. Mr. Drink? What is that? What does that mean? Why are you saying that? Although true, like, Shogun made that whole picture of, like, iced tea, which looked pretty epic, not gonna lie. But apparently needed more citrus, maybe. Anyway. I gave a stranger a lap dance and won my friend and I 2 free cocktails at the Absinthe show. Ah, Absinthe. Only 2? You got undersold! That's wild! Okay, damn. I'm sorry? What do you mean, Zio? What are you apologizing for? Don't apologize. Live your life unapologetically. Be unapologetically yourself. Zio. Neo! Alright? So oh my gosh. You so right, Pack? Damn, that's crazy. Best go back to the stables with that one, G. When that advice hit too true. I went to an art college in Las Vegas. You do the math. You're asking us to do math? These are the wrong people. This is the wrong audience to ask to do math. Can we just be completely clear and honest about that right now? My goodness. Anyway. Right. Let me get my slides up. Okay. Let me see here. This here. Get all my, whatchamacallit, my screens together. Alright. Also, for those of you that had contributed and have been here and supporting the stream and whatnot, want to let you guys know that the call from my mom just now was that she was confirming that she got the iPad in the mail. So I hadn't sent to my mom's because it's a little bit safer. So yeah, and so my mom just confirmed that she got the iPad. So we have the iPad. I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow. So yeah, really excited about that. Thank you again, everybody, for the support on getting the iPad. Again, it's going for a multi-use cause. We're going to be using it at the Las Vegas concert in April to be able to live stream to people who are not able to make it physically. And then we'll also be using it for some of the cons that we go to as well, and like a little mobile rig type thing. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for contributing and for helping us achieve that goal, so that way we can share our content and community with the world, really. So thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go. iPad Kōri. Yes, exactly. Congrats. Thanks everyone for the support. Yes. Mosh pit. Okay. Yes, for sure. Mosh pit. Let's do it. Anyway, geometry, but I love rocks. Wow. Yeah, really excited for the iPad. So thank you, everybody. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Yeah. Am I right or am I right? Get into it, yeah. All right. Alrighty, let me also just turn off our beautiful, I've kept forgetting that I haven't been using the gamer subs alert, and I'm like, I should probably use that, and I'm gonna turn it off for now, though. Okay, let me get adjusted here, so that way I'm fit better on the screen. Okay, cool, so let's talk about it, Alright, so I'm at the point now where I will be looking at chat a lot a lot less as I go through my points here, and I'm gonna do my best to be coherent. But the lasagna is hitting, okay? Anyway, welcome in. Today we're gonna be talking about cons, specifically VTubers at cons. And I titled this presentation "A Pro at Cons" because I wanted to be cute, because it's like pros and cons, pros at cons. Anyway, yes, thank you. That's me, Kōri-Oujo, making dumb jokes like that no one's gonna understand unless I explain it heavily like this. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to be talking about my experience and stuff like that. I think to also kind of disclaimer everything that I'm going to be talking about here, I'm not, my discussion here is not so much about like any one particular con or any particular organized event. Like, I'm not here to roast or put down any cons that I've been to in the past. Like, truly, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just here to talk about the experience as a whole, being a VTuber at a convention, and also to continue to caveat, again, this is just my experience. This is my own personal take, my own personal advice, and again, like, the way that I've been going to cons is a little bit different from how other people may go, how you or your friend may decide to go. It is a little bit different. Everybody will approach this a little bit differently. And so I just want to make sure that it's clear that this is just my experiences. I'm not putting anyone down. I'm not calling anyone out, whether it be an event or a company or whatever. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just here to talk about my experiences, and hopefully my experiences may help shape, you know, what you decide to do if you are a VTuber that's looking to go into cons and stuff like that. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. So I'll talk a little bit about my experience, and I know my big forehead's kind of in the way, so let me just kind of maneuver over just a bit. But there's all the cons that some of the cons, actually, these aren't all of them, but I've been to over 20 different conventions at this point, and the way that I've attended has never been me physically attending. So to make it very, very clear, I have never actually physically been at any of the conventions that I have ever attended. So I just want to make that very clear. I've never, ever physically been there. And so if you are someone that's like thinking about going and you can go in a physical way or aspect, then that's totally fine. I'm gonna let these sirens go because apparently when I start my presentation, the police are trying to find me because I'm talking about, they're like, you talking shit about cons, I guess, because they care so much about the anime community. Anyway, so all right, let me get back to it. So yeah, I've been to over 20 different conventions. And the ways that I've attempted conventions, again, was always virtual. And so for me, I've always been on a screen. And as you can see in the pictures here, you know, you can see on the top left, I believe, if I know my right from left. And basically, that's the booth that we have, right? It's a little bit older of a picture. We have a new setup, a slightly newer setup now, but more or less that's me. And then right next to me, in my hair wisps here, my ponytail, you can see that's like our mobile rig. And at the very bottom, that's me doing a panel as well. So in all ways that I've been at cons, me personally, it's been in a virtual aspect. And so I've never really been there physically. And yeah. So I've been there to do panels. I've done a performance most recently at TaioCon, which was out in Arizona. And then I've had a booth. I think most of the time when I go to conventions, I have a booth. Lately, I have been doing a mobile rig. I want to also caveat and say that I built my mobile rig myself. It's not a robot. It is manual, completely manual. I do have a representative as well. Most of you already know about James, the rep. And yeah, so that's kind of been my setup, is that I do have a physical representative, and that helps me set up and pushes me around depending on my setup, right? And I almost always, you know, try to do a panel or a performance at the cons that I go to as well. So yeah, that's just what I've done there. I've also, as far as like outreach goes, I've reached out to over 200 different conventions in the last 2 years. Probably more than that, but I don't know. I've lost count. So yes, I do a lot of outreach for me trying to go to cons and stuff like that. A lot of times, and I've said this many times before, a lot of times you're going to do a lot of outreach to whatever you decide to do. And let's just in this scenario say it's cons. So event organizers that, you know, put on these conventions and stuff like that. A lot of times, like 90% of the time, you're not going to get any response. It's just going to be like a ghost, right? Maybe 5% of the time, it's like, oh, no, we can't support this, or we don't want you, or like we're not accepting any guests or something like that. And then 3% of the time it's like you don't have enough numbers, or like we don't know, we don't like you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's like numbers or ticket sales. Like, can you bring in more ticket sales? Do you have the numbers for it? So unfortunately, that is the unfortunate reality of our industry here, is that numbers do kind of matter. And then the 2% is really like the, okay, maybe, let's talk about it, right? And then the 1% from that 2% is the ones that you get to go to. So it really is like a numbers game, which I hate saying that kind of thing. But if you are trying to like go to cons, obviously you can try to be a lot more targeted. I always recommend, like, if you are trying to go to a con, depending on your capacity of which you'd like to go, whether it be like mobile rig or booth or whatever. Like, if you're trying to booth, I highly recommend doing one that's like without doxing yourself, like semi close to you, you know what I mean? Because if there are any problems that arise, you can try to quickly fix it, or at the very least it's like semi local, so you kind of know like the vibe as well, right, of like your local town. So if you can, I would recommend trying to do that first, is like my recommendation. You don't have to do that, but that's just my recommendation. And again, it depends on how you want to attend, right? So yeah. All right, so that's kind of my experience. Hopefully that makes sense. So these are like very common questions that I get asked, and so I will answer them now, because like a lot of times people ask these questions. And yeah. Okay, first question: how do you find cons to go to? For me, it's just a lot of research. I wish there was like a secret sauce. I wish there was like, you know, Plankton's looking for the recipe and stuff like that for the Krusty Krab, the Krabby Patty. Yeah, I don't have that. It doesn't exist. And so yeah, it's just a lot of research, essentially. It's finding these con websites, looking in different states. That's what I've done. Obviously, for me, it's looking on social media, saving stuff, just general research. And also, you can try to ask your community too, like, hey, without doxing yourselves, do you have conventions that you'd recommend me to try to go to, you know? And that way you can also try to connect with your current community in you know, potentially their area, right? Again, without doxing anyone. But yeah, anyway, so those are my suggestions. But really, it just comes down to doing your own research and homework, because again, a lot of times, like, you want to consider who is your audience, why do you want to go, and how do you want to attend the con, right? So yeah, do you want to be a guest? Do you want to be a panelist? Do you want to be a performer? Do you want to have a booth, or do you want to go in a mobile rig? You know what I mean? And the other thing is that with cons, sometimes they don't allow that setup. I've reached out to cons and they're like, yeah, we just can't support a VTuber at our con at this time. And that's totally fair, right? So you have to consider as well, like, a lot of these cons, they don't know what having a VTuber means at their event, because a lot of cons, like, I want to say 80% of the cons that I've been to, they've never had a VTuber before. I was their first VTuber guest, right? So you need to consider, how are they going to be able to support you in what you want to do, right? There's some cons where, for example, if you are like me and you want to have a booth, sometimes they don't offer a booth, or you have to buy one, or, you know, if you need electricity, which is what I do need, obviously, because I have a screen and I have a laptop, then you're going to have to purchase that as well, or you're going to have to talk to the event organizers about, like, hey, I need electricity. Can they give that to you or not? See, so it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But at the end of the day, like, you don't really get to choose the cons that you get to go to. It's kind of what I've learned. Like, sometimes you do get lucky. Sometimes you are able to work on a deal, or maybe you know somebody at the con organizers and whatnot. Maybe you know someone there. But generally speaking, like, people tell me like, oh, you should go to this con or you should go to that con. I'm like, I would if I could. They denied me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get to choose all the time, like, where I go. It's literally just who accepts me, right? So yeah. Another question I get asked a lot is, what is your setup? Or like, how do I do what Kōri does, right? And my answer basically is that it's so unique and special to me because of the circumstances that I was in my previous life before VTuber, that it doesn't really apply to anyone else. So for those of you who don't know, I used to be really deep into not the VTubing community. Well, obviously now I am. The cosplay community. I was really deep in the cosplay community. And I had made so many connections through my time in the cosplay community. Photographers, content creators, other cosplayers, artists, right? People who were at booths, people who worked booths, right? Hint, hint. And so that is really the only reason why I have any of the connections that I have made, and the knowledge that I have is thanks to my time and experience in the cosplay community. And so my setup really relies on the fact that I already have experience there. If you don't have that experience, if you don't have that networking already, then that's a whole different journey. You know, your journey is going to be completely different from mine. So I can't really explain it, you know, like, people ask me that, but I'm like, I can't really tell you. It doesn't really like help your situation, because the other thing is that, like, you may want to go in a different capacity. I've already made the decision that, like, I never want to really attend. Well, I don't think I will attend a convention physically in person. I want to remain virtual. I want to remain as Kōri-Oujo, you know, however I present Kōri-Oujo, I just want it to be her, you know? And so someone else, you or your friend or another VTuber, may think, oh, I do want to go in it, like, physically. I do want to physically be there. Then that's like a completely different process, right? Or, oh, I want to just go on a mobile rig on a robot. That is also kind of a completely different process, right? So yeah, and then honestly, my mobile rig, I built myself. Both of them. I have two. One of them was like kind of a prototype one that I had to learn a lot from. But I basically had to like build it and then take it apart and somehow ship it to my rep. And then the second one was the same thing, was that I had to like put it together, build it, test it myself, and then send it to my rep. So I don't really know how to explain how I made my own mobile rig, especially now that it's been like a few months, but it is a long and tedious process, and a process that I would only have been able to figure out because of my experience making props when I was in cosplay. So yeah, anyways, that's the long story of why it's really hard to explain like what it is and how someone else can achieve it, because I've only achieved it thanks to my past life and to my experience and the knowledge I already have, you know what I mean? And the way that I want to attend, right? So yeah. Other question I get, why did you start going to cons? Honestly, it was because I used to be in the cosplay community. I really enjoyed, you know, being a part of that con community. I always felt like everyone was so friendly and nice, you know, for the most part. Obviously, you get some interesting people because it's an anime convention, but, you know, everyone's a little bit socially awkward. But yeah, I really enjoyed interacting with the community back when I was in the cosplay community. And so when I was getting deeper into VTubing and I was struggling with, like, my identity as a creative content creator, I was like, what do I want to do with this? Like, what makes me happy? What am I passionate about? And it really was like being able to go to cons to interact with the community. You know what I mean? And so that's basically why I started. I was like, how can I take something that I was really passionate about in my previous life as a cosplayer into VTubing? And that was, you know, conventions essentially. And it was also just something that I didn't really see a lot of. Like, sure, we saw some of the VTubers at, like, TwitchCon and stuff like that on the robots and whatnot, Iron Mouse rolling around. But you don't really see it commonly, is what I found. And I was like, it'd be cool if we started seeing that a little bit more, because I do feel like, you know, VTubers just feel like the right thing for an anime convention. Some people may disagree, but I do think it like kind of makes sense because like we're an anime character that's moving and talking, but it's a lot more interactive, you know what I mean? And we're also like humans, so you're like, believe it or not, you know, we're also human, so we get to have like that human touch and connection while also being an anime person or character or whatever. And I think that's really cool. And we also game, so like gamers and stuff like that go to conventions sometimes. So, you know, I just thought it all kind of made sense. I was like, why not, right? The last question I get asked a lot is, how do you balance going to cons and streaming? And honestly, you don't. I'm just kidding. But it is really difficult. I think it's something that I can't always give an answer on, or really ever, because it's dependent on you as a person. Me as a person, I don't know. I've been doing this for so long that like I know I can do it, and so I feel like it's just a part of my soul now. Like I just can't, like that's just who I am, right? So I don't know. And that's just my work ethic. My work ethic has always been like be stressed out, I guess. I don't fucking know, dude. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really have a straight answer for this. I do think like for me, I personally learned that there was one time in May, I think of last year, where I had 3 back-to-back weekends of cons. It was Otaku Fest in Florida, Annie Minneapolis in Minnesota, and then it was Off-Kai in California. And I did those weekends back-to-back, and I suffered. I felt terrible. I was so exhausted. And I think at that point, I realized I cannot do 3 back-to-back weekends of cons. Like, I have to split it up a little bit because it was just way too much. Because for me, I work a day job, so I had to go to work the next day. So I take Friday off to be at a con that's a 3-day weekend thing, right? So I'm there. I work Monday through Thursday, start doing the con on Friday, and then I spend like 12 hours online on Saturday and Sunday, and then you go back to work on Monday, and it's just like, it is terrible. It is terrible. And so it's really exhausting. And so I realized that I can't do 3 back-to-back weekends of that is basically what I've learned. Basically what I've learned is I can't do 3 back-to-back weekends of that. So it is like learning your limits and stuff like that too. I also really want to pound it in all of your brains, okay? If you are someone that has a very low social battery, if you're someone that like truly you have a hard time keeping your social battery high or keeping a positive attitude while talking with multiple people, I really highly recommend not going to cons. And I know that sounds like, what do you mean? Why would you say that? It can be a lot more tiring, and you can feel burnt out so much faster from doing cons and streaming if you're someone that cannot handle the social aspect of doing a con. And it's not for everyone, okay? So it's okay to accept like maybe this isn't my thing. Like truly, it is okay. But it is very challenging to be online that long. And by online, I mean like being present and talking to so many people. For me personally, I've probably talked to like, well, we've given free stickers out to over 10,000 people at this point in time. Over 10,000 people we've given free stickers out to. Not all of them have stopped to talk to me, but I'm pretty sure like at least, let's just say half of those people have talked to me. That's 5,000 people. I think on average, I probably talked to like 300 people on like a medium-sized con weekend, right? So over the course of the weekend, I've talked to like 300, 400 people on average. It's usually a little bit more than that, I would say. So it's a lot of people. If you're not able to withstand, like if your social battery just drains super quickly, which is totally fine, cons may not be the thing for you because it will burn you out so quick and you will be very frustrated with the results as well. And like, trust me, I'm saying that from experience. So yeah, I really don't recommend going to cons if you're someone who cannot handle the social aspect of it, truly. Because the other aspect, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but the other aspect is truly like engaging and interacting with the community. Like, 80% of the time it is positive, but 20% there's just like 2 or 3 people that they just say something really strange or that really ticks you off, and you're just like, man, why am I here? At least that's how I felt. So yeah, there's another time where I went to Offkai, and I was on my own mobile rig and stuff like that. We actually kind of like, technically we snuck it in, but but that's besides the point. Anyway, so we went to Offkai last year, and I remember I was on my own mobile rig that I built, and my rep was pushing me around, and I was there for like 4 hours, right? I was online, or we took a break in the middle to charge up, but I was basically online for like 4 hours. And then essentially there was this other group or company that was like doing the robots as well, right? And with the robots, you know, they have time slots, so it's like about an hour time slot that you have to be able to, you know, roam around on the robot. And I remember I talked to this one VTuber, and you know, we had a good conversation, blah blah blah, and then we pulled off to the side, and we're waiting for some people to walk past us. And I heard this afterwards, but my rep told me that the attendant that was with that other VTuber on the mobile rig was like talking to the VTuber, and then like she turned to my rep and was like, yeah, they're really tired. They're exhausted. I think they're gonna log off early. They're really tired. And I was like, oh my God, they've probably only been on for like 30, 45 minutes and they're already like clocked out. But that goes to show that, hey, it is really tiring. It is like something that it's not something you do every day. It's not something you do every day where you see the world through a webcam and you try to interact with people on a delay, because there's the internet delay, right? And so you have to like calculate that. There's so much that goes into it that I feel like nobody talks about, because it's like such a dumb thing, but it adds up after a while, where it's just like, this is so tiring and taxing. So I get it, I do. But yeah, that person was only on for like 45 minutes and they were like, nope, can't do it anymore. And so again, it's okay to realize like, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this isn't the experience that you would like to have as a VTuber, and that's totally fine, okay? But yeah, they clocked out real quick, because it is very exhausting if you don't have the social capacity for it. It's very exhausting to be present and be online that long. So yeah, anyway, let me continue talking about what I've got in these slides. Okay, so here's some things that I've loved about being a VTuber attending cons. Again, over 20 different conventions that I've been to, these are things that have stood out to me the most. So again, having this in mind, I have been going through going to cons by having a booth or a mobile rig. So that's how I'm attending. So that's mostly what I'm talking about, is booth and my own mobile rig, right? Okay. So one thing I really liked, the top of the list, definitely connecting with the community. It's a unique interactive experience to really be an anime person online, and like you get to interact with human beings in the real world. Like that's such a cool experience. If it's almost like VTuber Disneyland for other people, you know what I mean? Like that's how I describe it. It's like VTuber Disneyland. But yeah, I feel like it's really like such a fun experience on the other side and your side too, to be able to like, I'm engaging with people but like in character, you know, like that's so fun. And so I love doing that. I really enjoyed. A lot of the people that are in my community now are people that I've met at conventions, you know what I mean? So it's so personable. It's as like face-to-face as you can get as a VTuber specifically. And I love that. And you still get to kind of like, I don't know, practice your social skills and communications and stuff like that with people. And trust me, I have an English degree and I'm still learning how to properly communicate with people. So it's okay. It's going to take a lifetime and maybe even more than that. Anyway, yeah, it's really fun. I enjoy it. And I think it's fun to be able to like educate people on VTubers as well, which goes into like my next point. I get to be people's first, which is haha, LMAO, wink wonk. But literally, literally a lot of people tell me, you know, this is their first time interacting with a VTuber. This is their first time meeting a VTuber, right? And so it's really cool to be able to say like, yeah, this is great. Like now you've done it. And I'm glad that we can cross off the list for you, and, you know, hope to see you on the stream sometime. You know, it's really cool to be able to say that I get to be some people's like, first time interacting with a VTuber or first time learning about VTubing, right? I remember when I went to Anime NYC, I was like, I don't know, several booths down, but like across the way basically from the HoloLive booth. And it wasn't really like a booth, it was like a house. It was a small house. It was a HoloLive booth. It was ginormous. And so I was like several booths down, kind of across from it. Anyway, people would be coming by our booth and being like, hey, I like your setup, and is it the same as the thing that's over there? Like, what is that over there? What are you? What is happening here? Like, even though HoloLive, the like premier, biggest VTuber company agency out there, was not explaining or being that first rite of passage to other people for VTubing. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing, by the way, but I'm just saying it was insane to think, like, even though HoloLive was like right down the block from me, there were people that were coming up to me and being like, this is their first time interacting with a VTuber, or I'm the one that's educating them on what VTubing is, because if anyone was going to educate them, I thought it'd be HoloLive, you know what I mean? Not me, the hell? So it's really interesting to see how like that panned out essentially. I also got a lot of side eyes and disgusted looks from from people that went to the HoloLive booths and walked down our aisle, and they gave me some nasty looks as I walked past as well, but that was funny. Anyway, yeah, really interesting. My last point, pushing the boundary of where VTubing goes. So I've always really enjoyed just the fact that VTubing can go some crazy places, you know what I mean? And it's really fun to see. Obviously, we've been to conventions. We've also done the baseball collab. We collaborated with a baseball team out in Frisco, Texas with the Frisco Rough Riders. I was on the Jumbotron is what they called it, Titantron. And I sang Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I also did a Rough Riders chant as well. So that was a collab that I did, and a way that we were pushing the boundary, of where VTubing was going. And I also have a partnership with a NASCAR driver. We're supposed to be going to some races with them and having Kōri decals on like the car and stuff like that, Kōri wraps and stuff, right? So that's really fun. And I feel like it's been such a amazing experience to get like reactions almost of like, oh, there's a VTuber here, or like, what? It's like, it's really neat to be able to do that, and in general be able to educate more people on what VTubing is. I've loved doing panels and performances and networking with other people too. Like we've had all these panels, and almost the rep after the panel, I talk to my rep and have a meeting with them. And James will almost every time say, like, even the technicians in the panelist room, so like the staff of the convention, were just like in awe of like how we set up, how easy it was, because we've done it so many times. And also just the fact that like it was live, like it was me talking to them and presenting something and then taking questions live. Like that was like blew their minds. And it's so cool to be able to say that we get to create that environment and that experience for people, right? That's really like such a unique thing. So definitely love that. Definitely love that. Okay. Now let's talk about the cons of cons. Haha, LMAO. And again, this is just based on my experiences. These are my opinions. And obviously some of these also depends on, or most of these depend on like how you want to be at a con. Like what capacity you're attending the con in, whether you're a guest or a panelist or a performer, or you're just on a mobile rig, or you just have a booth, if you're in the vendor hall, whatever, right? So for me, most of the time I'm at a booth, and the booth is in vendor hall or in artist alley, and that's usually where the most flow of traffic is, right? Or I have a booth in the special guest area too. So it just kind of depends. Like that's where I've been, where the most flow of traffic usually is. Let me know if I'm wrong. But that's where I assumed it was. Otherwise, I'm on a mobile rig just walking around through the con. So those are the two ways that I've attended. And then obviously there's like the performances and like panels and stuff like that I've done too. So these are my experiences. These are the way that I've done it, right? And I want to again say I have a representative that is obviously representing me at the booths, and and the mobile rig, and I've always trained them on how I want to be presented. I'm very meticulous about that, right? I give them things to be able to say or to hand out. I have free stickers where I cut them all out, I bag them, put them in little baggies, and I staple that bag onto a business card. And we've given over 10,000 of those out. Free sticker, right? I also have free stickers for when people follow us when we're at the booth, right? I've done all of these things to try to maximize the amount of people coming up to the booth and interacting with us, incentivizing people to try to talk to us, right? So these are all things that I'd like you to know, but as we talk about this, okay? Is that those are the steps that I've taken. That is the setup that I have. And with all that in mind, here's my biggest problems with conventions. Okay. So obviously, like I kind of talked about before, there's a lot of times when you have rude people that come up to your booth or that come up to you to interact with you, and you have to keep your cool. Like, obviously, when you're streaming, it's a little bit different because you can just like have your moderators ban them or time them out or just be like, you know, hey, that's not cool. But when you're in person, when you're looking at someone in their face, it, you know, for most of us, it's a little bit harder to be like, yo, shut up. You know what I mean? It's a little bit harder to be confrontational depending on the kind of person you are. Now, if you also are a person that is very highly confrontational, you have to be careful because you may be, if you're like on a robot that you do not own, you may be on that and you don't want that person to push you or to damage the robot that you're on because you may be liable for that. I don't know, right? I don't know. And so when you're dealing with strange personalities or rude people, you have to be like, try to disengage, try to keep your cool. But again, that's where the social battery thing comes into play, where it's like, how long can you really put that up? And like, that's such an honest thing. Okay. I'm just being real, because even when you're doing 10 hours or 12 hours a day for 3 to 4 days straight of being online and being Kōri-Oujo or being your VTuber, oh my God, it can get really tiring. And you just kind of like, you end up having a short fuse. And that's just me as a person after doing it so many times. Again, like, I think I had a lot of patience when I first started doing cons, but now that we're like 20 plus in, I do have a lot less patience, okay? I do have a lot less patience for bullshit. I will say that. I have a lot of people come up to the booth, like, this is probably one of the rudest questions. Now, one of the biggest questions that I get is this AI? That is still a problem. And I've done my best to try to tell people that this is not AI. But yeah, we still get a lot of, is this AI questions? That is a top question. If you look at my booth pictures, there is almost always a sign that says not AI. And I still get people asking me if I'm AI. So that is probably the top question I get. Embarrassingly enough to admit, that is probably the top question I get at cons. Is this AI? Is this real? But sometimes the other like bad question that I get, top bad question I get, is like, how many subscribers do you have? Or like, what's your following? And that kind of thing, like, if you're like me, I still consider myself a small streamer, 1. 2, I've always been of the mindset of sustainability, and it's not sustainable to be focused on numbers all of the time. If somebody else is very focused on numbers, like, then I probably don't want them in my community. Does that make sense? Because really, like, whether I have 10,000, 10 million, 100 million, 10 followers, that shouldn't change my value as a human being. That shouldn't change the way that I'm presenting myself to you right now as Kōri-Oujo. Kōri-Oujo is not defined by numbers. You are not defined by numbers, okay? And so whenever someone asks me, what are your numbers? I usually like try to say, like, you know, it's not really about the numbers with us. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, dodge the question essentially. I don't ever answer because like that's such a dumb question anyway. Like, what do you mean? There's so many different like platforms and different numbers on those platforms? Like, I don't know. That's a really weird question. Anyway, I've thought about saying how much is in your wallet, because I feel like that's the equivalent to like how many subscribers you have. Like, how much is in your bank account right now? Let me know, and then I'll let you know what my subscriber count is. I thought about answering with that, but I feel like that might not get across as a joke. So anyway, yeah. So that's one of the rude questions I've gotten. What else? I've also just had people like troll me heavily. I think people try to like come up and like say stupid shit because they know that you can't really like fight back, quote unquote, because you're just like an anime person on the screen. So you have to be careful of people like that. I have some scenarios where it got a little bit weird or hostile a little bit. Or maybe not hostile, like they weren't gonna fight me, but it was just like I was deeply uncomfortable. And in those situations, I have to like message my rep and be like, hey, can we like disengage? Or I just like completely shut down. Like I close everything and act like, oh, it broke, LMAO. You know what I mean? Just to completely like wall disengage by, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely tough when you don't have the social capacity for it, you know what I mean? Of like trying to deal with all of the rude people or just like random people in general, socially awkward people. I've had a lot of people more commonly like, and it's not their fault. I'm not upset at them by any means, but I'll have some people who like come up and they don't know what to talk about. So they just like keep talking about the same thing over and over again. And it's kind of like, for me, like, if you're not interested in talking about, like, Kōri, not to be, like, narcissistic or anything, but if you're not interested in talking about Kōri or maybe about, like, your con or, like, interacting with me, because, like, that's more of, like, a one-sided conversation. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not interested in having, like, a conversation with me, then it's hard for me to, like, see, like, are you actually interested in this content? Are you actually interested in what we're doing here? Or, like, are you just lonely and want someone to talk to you? That's fine, too. But, like, I only have so much time on the mobile rig or at the booth that I would rather be having conversations with people who actually want to have a conversation with me. You know what I mean? So, and it's a different thing though, because I know some people come up and they don't know what to say. So they just, are awkward or they come up with random things. There are people like that. That's not a problem. When it becomes a problem is when I can tell that they're not actually interested in what we're doing. Like, they're bringing up other VTubers that they keep asking me, like, have you collabed with them, or do you know this person, or do you know that person? And it's like, at some point it's like, I'd rather be talking about how are you enjoying the con, or like, what did you buy, or what are you interested in? Which in some ways they are telling me that. I don't really know how to explain it. I just, after doing it over 20 times, I can just tell when somebody's like not actually interested in Kōri after doing it so long. And when that happens, I'm like, if you're not interested in what we do, then I'd rather be talking to someone who might be interested in what we do. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I'm not ever mad at them. Like I said, it's not me calling anyone out. I'm not, like, mad at anyone who does do that, but sometimes I can just tell. And obviously, I know now, especially because those people don't ever come back to the stream after the fact, even though they took up a lot of my time. There was one person where, for, like, 30 minutes, they talked about like a Star Trek game for like 30 minutes. And 2 or 3 times throughout that one-sided conversation, I was trying to like say like, oh, there's someone behind you, like, there's a line forming, I need to go talk to them, or like, oh, that's great. Cool, we'll have a great day. I did that like 3 or 4 times, and my rep tried like 1 or 2 times, and they still kept going. And it was just like, what is happening? And that's what I mean though. Like, they didn't give me any time to like say anything. It was very legitimately just a one-sided conversation. So you see where there's a difference there? It's like, when it's just a very clearly one-sided conversation, I don't know what to do. And that happens like a couple times in a con, basically. There's always like this one or 2 individuals that are like, they keep coming back and they keep having those one-sided conversations that I really don't know how to interact with, other than like, oh, yeah, cool, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. that kind of like goes into my next point. So there is a pretty low conversion rate. The con audience is still very much different from the VTuber audience as a whole. And I don't mean to like generalize it in this way. I don't like generalizing people or communities or whatever. But just from my experience, generally speaking, most but not all the time, a lot of like the people in the VTuber audience, they don't really go to cons because there is not already a very prominent, you know, a prominent, how do you say, representation of VTubers at cons. Like, not a lot of VTubers are going to cons still, and so most people that watch VTubers don't go to cons because there aren't any VTubers there, which is their interest, right? And then most of them as well, they don't have the money to be able to go to cons, so, you know, and that's okay. Okay, there's nothing bad about that. I totally get it. I'm a VTuber. I also have no money, and I'm a homeowner, so I'm in negative at this point, heavily. So I totally get it. But basically, you know, a lot of the VTuber audience, people who watch VTubers, they don't really go to cons. There's still a distinct difference between the con audience and the VTuber audience. And so because of that, a lot of people in the con audience, they're at conventions because they enjoy going to conventions and they enjoy gaming or anime or manga or comics. And VTubing, maybe they're kind of like, oh, that's cool, but they don't really like engage with it often. You know what I mean? They're more interested in like spending their time elsewhere, you know, or spending the money and time going to different conventions. So it is still a different community. And I'm just speaking from experience, but again, I have handed out over 10,000, probably like 15,000 free stickers at this point. Maybe like you'll see after a con, the next day you stream, more like there'll be people coming in from the con like, oh, I saw you at Carrier Con, or I saw you at Offkai. That's cool. And then like after that, they don't come back. This is generally what happens. This is just my experience. Usually maybe like 1% of the people that I hand out, you know, stickers to, or that I interact with at conventions. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me break it down even more. So let's say it's a 3-day weekend con, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, medium size con. Generally speaking, we hand out 800 to 900 free stickers. So let's just say 900 free stickers. Out of that, maybe 1% follow like at the event because we have follow stickers. It's less than that. Generally speaking, maybe we give out like 30 to 40 on a good day or good weekend, maybe like 75 on a good weekend of the free follow stickers. And all that means is that they followed in the moment at the booth, and then they showed it to my rep, and my rep gives them another free sticker that's a little bit bigger than the business card stickers. So maybe we get like 1% from that 900 that actually follow, and then maybe, you know, some of them follow me after the fact too without the free follow sticker. And then I want to say like 0.0001% of that actually stay. And that is not a joke or an exaggeration. Like, I've had cons where nobody comes back. Like, genuinely, I don't see any of them come back. And now I have to caveat and say I'm talking about streams specifically. So if you're someone that's like trying to grow your stream, they don't watch streams. A lot of them they don't seem to watch streams. So yeah, but a lot of them do seem to like go on YouTube. So like YouTube is something that like some of them will watch, you know what I mean? Like the videos that you post, or if you post your VODs, they may watch it there. But if you're looking for like a live viewer, 0.000001% probably come back. That is genuine. That is just me being transparent. Sometimes you get lucky. Maybe you get 2 or 3 people from a con that actually come back and stay a viewer. But most of the time, you're lucky if you get 1. Truly. And that is my experience from over 20 different conventions. You are lucky if you get 1. But that's what makes them that much more special. Let me be clear. I sincerely appreciate the experiences that I've gotten to have interacting with people, whether they stay or not, okay? But it makes that experience so much more beautiful and valuable when they do stay, because I get to say, like, I got to meet so-and-so that's in the chat IRL. I got to meet Shogun twice and IRL, and like I got to see Shogun a year ago, and then I got to see Shogun a month ago, and just like seeing the growth in this beautiful person has been so invaluable to me. Being able to just throw the merch at Shogun, just take it, free, give it, take it, you know, that's like what I love. You know, I love the fact that I get to truly be connected with my community that I've stayed from the cons. I get to feel like I've connected with them in a different, unique way than other VTubers can say they have with their audience. You know what I mean? So I do truly cherish that. And man, I mean, I'm still doing cons despite the fact that nobody really comes back to the streams. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing, by the way. It's not like I'm truly complaining. I'm just setting expectations, because I had originally thought like, oh wow, I interact with all these people, there's got to be people coming to the stream and like coming back, right? And I was completely wrong about that. And so I'm just being honest. And again, there are definitely some variables where sometimes you have a really good con and you do find people coming back. You hit the audience that you were hoping to hit, and somehow it worked, right? Sometimes you get cons where you get 3 to 4 people, or you know, somewhere around there. Usually, I don't think I've gotten more than that. So you know, like there are highs and lows, like in anything, really. So all I'm saying is that most of the time, though, you're lucky if you get one, and that's like where I set my expectation now. Is like, if I can get one person to come back, I'll be happy. Even though I spent so much money and time and energy and effort and being at this con, if I can get one more person to come back, I'll be happy with that. That's a success. And so I'm just setting the expectations that it's low. That's it. And you might get lucky that it's higher than low, but it's generally speaking low, right? So yeah. All right. That leads me into my next point. Wow, it's crazy how I flow like that. But it takes a lot of time going to cons and organizing this and doing all of that crap. So for me, like, what's an example? So some cons like Anime NYC, I'll take that as an example. Anime NYC, I paid a booth. I paid for a booth to be there. And it was a lot of like, okay, how do I have to fill out a contact form. I have to get contacted, hopefully, by the right person. And then that person contacts me and tells me I have to fill out this form. So then I filled another form. And then I send it to them. They're like, okay, now you have to pay. And so now I have to pay. But then I also have to add on the fact, hey, where do I get electricity? And then obviously I also have to add on the fact, you know, where do I get Wi-Fi, right? For specifically Anime NYC, because that was a shit show. But anyways, we don't talk about that. Yeah, so I had to like ask all these questions, figure out where I had to go, pay for those things. And then obviously I had to pay for my rep to be able to go to Anime NYC as well. And if you know anything about New York, it is expensive for anyone to fly there or to stay at a fucking hotel. God forbid you take an Uber or a taxi down the street. It's expensive. Or get a freaking burger. My God, why is it so expensive? Anyway, it's very expensive in in New York. And so if you are sending a representative to represent you at the con, it's very expensive to do that. And then also the booth itself is very expensive. Generally speaking, to help give some estimates to people who are interested in getting a booth at cons, Artist Alley is generally less expensive. However, a lot of cons do not allow VTubers in Artist Alley. Some of them that I know of that don't allow VTubers in Artist Alley is Anime Expo, Anime NYC, Anime Frontier. They're all like run by similar people. So you can see a trend here. And there's like another one. I can't remember what it is though. I mean, Offkai as well. But anyways, there's a lot of cons out there that don't allow VTubers in the Artist Alley. So even though the Artist Alley booth is cheaper, you may not be able to purchase it for your reasons. So you have to get a vendor booth. Vendor booths, oh, sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. Artist alley booths can vary. It depends on the con. I've seen some that are like $100. I've seen some that are $600. So it can vary in that range. I've also seen for the vendor hall side of things, which is probably what you'll end up having to do, vendor hall stuff, if you're a VTuber, it's a lot more expensive. I've seen between $700 to $5,000. So it really just depends on like the con itself. But those are the estimates that I've seen. Low end, 500 to 700 on the low end for the vendor hall. But I've seen it as high as like $3,000, $4,000. As high as that. Did I get that? Shit, fuck no. Don't pay that much money. It's fucking not worth it. But anyway, the other side of it is also you want your booth, if you're getting a booth, you want it to look nice, right? And so you have to buy a banner, which is like, depending on where you get it, a banner can be $100 to $200, maybe even $300. You have to buy, maybe if you want tablecloth, that's like $25, maybe $10, right? Buy all your merchandise. If you want keychains, if you want posters, if you want your booth to look branded and nice, you have to buy all the merchandise for that too, which can be, depends on how much you want to get, but it can be like $500 to $1,000 for just like the base, I want to say. It can be maybe a little bit less depending on where you go and depending on how much you want, but you know, expect like around 500. And then you have to buy the stuff like the stands and stuff. Like I have like a little cork board. I can't remember what they're called, but I have these little like plastic cube thingies that I can hang shit on as well. You have to buy those. So you have to buy a cardboard cutout, which is like, depending on where you go, 100, 150, you know, so it's a lot of money to try to like even get the booth to look nice and branded. And trust me, it is worth it if you can make your booth look nice. It does attract eyes. It does like, you know, pay off, I feel like, but it is expensive to do that. So if you already don't have the money to go, just don't. Honestly, invest your money in your stream, okay? Invest your money in something that like is actually going to benefit you a little bit more than going to a convention where you might only get one person to come back, okay? Truly, at least to your stream, right? So truly, don't do it. Don't spend your money on that, especially if you don't have much money. It's not worth it, basically. So yeah, would not recommend. Especially if you're getting a booth, okay? Outside of that, if you're like a panelist or a guest, then you do have to organize like a panel, right? And so I have to spend, you know, it depends on how fast you work and if you've done it before or not, but like you spend maybe a few hours putting together a slide deck, or if you're doing a performance, you have to create your set list and practice and create, you know, the backgrounds and the transitions and, you know, all that stuff on OBS or your streaming platform. And you have to be able to test all those things. A lot of times too, you know, places don't have internet or Wi-Fi, so you have to find a way around that. If there is a way around that, sometimes there isn't. They don't have electricity. You also have to find out a way around that. So, you know, there's a lot of different problems to that, but it does take a lot of time, right? And then there's the communication that happens before the con itself too, where you have to talk to the organizers. You have to sign contracts. You have to abide by those contracts. You have to make promo videos. Usually con event organizers ask you to do like a 1 minute like vertical video just promoting the fact that you'll be at the event, right? Which is good because you get to post that yourself as well, and you know, more content's more content, but you know, you do have to spend time preparing for the event almost just as much as you are actually at the event, right? And so you have to think about the before as well. It's organizing all of those things, getting all those posts together, communicating back and forth with the event organizers. I've had event organizers that like they prefer communicating on email. I've had some that communicate via phone call, which means I have to connect them with my rep, and then my rep has to tell me what's going on. And so it's like a middleman thing. And then I've had some other organizers that communicate best on Discord. So it's like it hits you from all different angles is all I'm saying. So it can be a lot. And so yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention here. Having like a strategy or like a game plan as well, organizing that is important. Like I said, I have these free stickers that are stapled onto business cards, right? And because it's free, it incentivizes people to come up and interact with us, and so we can pass those out. And my rep also has been given and has worked on more or less an elevator pitch, a sales pitch, and so we've refined that over the cons as well, and changed it depending on what I'm working on. And really, because it's an elevator pitch, you have to really narrow down like what you want people to take away, and even that can be almost too much, right? So there's strategy, there's game plan, there's a game plan there, right? There's almost like a process that you have to envision. Someone comes up, free sticker, what do we say at that point? Okay, now they have the free sticker, what is the next call to action, right? Okay, if you follow right now, we'll give you another free sticker. Boom, that's the next step. Okay, now after that, what do we do? Here, you know what I mean? What if they're looking at the merch, then how do we sell the merch? Like there's literally a strategy to every component of the booth, essentially. So I always recommend, like, if you are getting a booth or if you're going to a convention, you really want to like maximize the amount of like time that you're there and the amount of money and energy that you're putting into the con. You want to maximize it as much as possible, essentially. So that is my recommendation. The only way to maximize it is to consider how you can get people to talk to you, essentially, and what do you want people to take away from your brand or from that experience talking with you or interacting with you or interacting with your booth, right? So that's a big thing, and that takes time to organize, and it can feel very overwhelming, and it's not going to be great the first time you do it, maybe not even the second time. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but just continue to think about it and evolve it, and that's literally what I've been doing. So yeah, I think that's the main thing I wanted to say about that. Okay, but yeah, I already kind of mentioned this, but at the end of the day, my point here with the cons of cons is that overall it's really not worth it. And again, unless you have like a solid setup and game plan. Sorry, the raccoons are covering you get the words up, but that's what it says there. If you have a solid setup and game plan, I think it's a little bit more worth it. But even I, someone who has explained to you my setup and my game plan, I do have a low conversion rate. I don't have many people coming back to the stream after the fact. You're lucky if you get one person is genuinely what I've seen. Now, again, that is just with the stream. I have seen some people, like, maybe they're watching the YouTube videos, the VODs, things like that. And I'm not trying to discredit them or, like, you know, disregard them. I appreciate them just the same. But right now in my career, I'm trying to grow my stream and my stream viewers and numbers. And so that's what I mean by it has a really low conversion rate, because that's what I'm focused on a lot right now. So if you're also someone that's trying to get people to get onto your Twitch or maybe your YouTube, you want to consider these things. Or actually, I should more so specifically say your stream, because even my YouTube stream, it hasn't seen much difference either. And so as far as numbers, right? And again, I'm someone that I hate talking about numbers, because like I like to talk about creativity and passion versus like, oh, numbers, because again, your value as a human being does not change depending on your numbers. But I'm just speaking as someone from it. This is my experience. This is where my head's at right now. After 20 different cons, this is what I've had to face, basically. After spending tens of thousands of dollars on going to cons, this is what I've had to face. This is my truth. This is my reality. Not many people from the cons come back to the stream specifically. So if you want to get more people to like maybe watch your YouTube videos and like your YouTube VODs specifically, not streams, maybe like that'll see a little bit of numbers increased, maybe a little bit. But generally speaking, if you really want people to like come to your stream, it might be a little bit wish-washy, essentially, and probably on the lower side. You might get lucky. Like, I don't want to discredit the fact that some people get lucky and they have the entire convention come back to their stream. Cool, I'm happy for you. I've been to 20 plus and I've not seen that happen. Again, a lot of people will come back the day after, like the next stream you have, they'll come back and maybe they'll trickle in a little bit throughout that week after the con. After that con weekend, they'll come back to like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week, they're gone. Like, they're not coming back most of the time. And so, again, I've only really seen like one or two people from a con like come back and be a viewer, and that's also just based on like who I've seen interact with the community. I'm sure there's like some people who like they just lurk, and I appreciate them just as much too, and so I don't know that they're there, or like I don't know that their username is this but their IRL is a different name, you know what I mean? So like I don't always know that, and so I also have to put that into perspective as well, and I want to explain that to you, that I don't know those things. I don't know what I don't know, and that's what I don't know, is that like I don't know the people that have come from cons that don't interact with the community, that just lurk, you know, like I don't know who those people are. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for still watching the content and coming by when you can, but generally speaking, not many like become active viewers at the very least, is what I've seen. Active chatters, active viewers, I haven't really seen that many of them. So I'm just being honest about my experience. Again, this is just my opinion and my experience. So I would honestly suggest, if you're someone that's like smaller as well, because I just feel like there's different things to focus on, and really it boils down to what do you want to focus on, you know what I mean? And going to a con, like, it is cool, don't get me wrong. I do think that you should experience it at least once as a VTuber, because it is a really interesting and unique experience. However, I don't think it's something to like truly invest into, especially if you're just starting your VTubing career, because a lot of the people who watch VTubers are online and they're not at conventions, right? So you have to kind of consider that. Like, if you want to grow an audience, your audience should first start growing online, and then you can start considering like moving out into the real world. And I know that it's interesting to see a lot of bigger creators go to conventions. Zentreya or Iron Mouse or Niji Sanji or Idol Talents, they go to conventions, but don't compare your chapter 1 to their chapter like 200, okay? They're in a different time in their career, and you may just be starting out, and so you really want to consider, like, you may not be ready, or your career or your timeline is not quite there yet. So just because a bigger VTuber is doing it doesn't mean that like that is the thing to do. You know, there's steps that you have to take to get to that point, is how I've kind of come to realize, like, hey, maybe this thing is not always what it makes it out to be, right? What it's made out to be online. So yeah. All right, let me continue. Okay, so I wanted to also talk about this phenomenon of like VTubers going to cons, because I have noticed a rising trend happening lately. And basically what the rising trend is that there's VTubers that are buying time slots to be on a mobile robot at cons. Please read this point here. I've been on one of these before. I'm not here to call out or talk down on anyone in particular, okay? No one in particular. Nobody or no company, nothing, no group. I'm not here to talk down on anything in particular. I'm just here to talk about my experiences, okay? So let me just explain what I know and my perspective and my experiences, to hopefully pass on some knowledge or at least a perspective to you to consider when you're maybe thinking about buying one of these time slots to be in a mobile robot at conventions. My TLDR, if you want to completely skip this part, I totally get it. TLDR, while I think you should try it once, like I said before, it's not really worth it, depending on what you want out of it. If that wasn't clear already, not really worth it. And again, it depends on what you want. If you want to go just to like experience it and just have fun, 100% it's worth it. 100% do that, have fun, enjoy yourself, experience it, cool. But if you were like, I want to do it because I want to get more followers, or I want to do it so that way more people come to the stream, that is not going to pan out, I think, the way that you will want it to. So please consider, like, why do you want to do this? Truly be honest with yourself. Why do you want to do this? Is it just to have fun? Great. Be honest, expect nothing from it, and just have fun. Totally fine. If you want to make content out of it, probably also totally fine, right? Like, go ahead, make content out of it, you know, make some memes with the mobile rig, post it, and have little expectations aside from being able to post some stuff and have some content, right? Totally cool too. But if you expect numbers, if you expect people to come back, if you expect like more interactions, like, you know, maybe it might not be worth it. So, so yeah, all right, let me talk about this. So here's what I find to be the challenge of this rising trend, or the challenges, really. So these are paid slots. From what I understand, again, from what I understand, these are usually paid slots, and the people that are running it may not, okay, be truly as invested in your brand as you might need them to be. And I'm not saying that they're not invested in your brand, by the way. By any means, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that what I have found is, even with the representation that I have, which I have one rep, and I have taught that rep everything about Kōri to the point where it's like exhausting, okay? I've taught my rep everything. We've made the sales pitch. We've made the process. What's the first incentive? Okay, free sticker on a business card. The second incentive, free follow sticker. The third, you know, like, we have that process built out. We have the entire pitch built out. And I can almost guarantee that you will not be able to do that with the people that are running those paid time slots. And if you do, that's great. But you have to yourself be able to communicate, here's what I want you to say, here's what I need you to do, you know what I mean? And then if you want them to hand out free stuff, then you have to send that to them, right? So again, consider that. But most likely they might not even allow that. They might even be like, you know, we don't want to hold on to these things, and like, we don't want to pass it. Who knows, right? I don't know personally. I've never tried. So the reason why I say you need someone that's really invested is because I have my rep that's been as invested as I feel like you can be. And we still have a very low conversion rate, you know? That's still the honest truth of my experiences from across 20 different CODs, is that there's a really low conversion rate. Despite the fact that I have someone in my corner fucking cheering me on with all of their might, okay? James does a wonderful job, truly. And this sounds weird, but James is worth every cent. I don't know, it sounds freaky deaky, but I don't mean it like that, okay? Sorry, James, wherever you are in the world. Anyway, so basically, even though James is fully invested in things like that, I still get a low conversion rate. How do you think it would happen or work out if you have somebody who may not even be as invested as James has been with you for an hour or however long the time slot is, right? Unfortunately, as much as that attendant with the mobile rig may be in your corner, and I'm not trying to put them down, okay? This is not their fault that they have to organize these things, and like, they may not always have the time to like do full on like research and have a whole sales pitch figured out and then deal with all those communications, like memorize it, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the attendant's fault, you know, it's no one's fault. But at the end of the day, they truly, unfortunately, cannot be as invested into your brand as you may need them to be if you want it to be a successful hour or two that you have that time slot, right? So just consider that, basically. And again, that's also only if you want to, depending on what you want out of it, okay? If you just want to go have fun and roll around and look at stuff, by all means, this does not matter to you, okay? Anyway, all right, next point. VTubing and mobile robots are still finding its space in the con industry. The reason why I say that is because, like I said, 80% of the cons that I went to last year, they had never had a VTuber before. They don't know what the fuck it is. They don't know what the fuck it needs in order to be there, you know what I mean? To live. And so they don't understand how to support the VTuber mobile robot setup. And so what I have noticed, and again, this isn't to call anyone out, but I have noticed that there seems to be some times like, well, okay, here, let me just speak from my experience. Sometimes like I tell a con like, hey, this is what I have. and here's the setup that, like, here's a picture, here's a video, here's what the setup includes, here's what I need. And I get to the con, or the rep gets to the con, and they'll be like, what? You needed that? What do you mean? And so, like, it's no one's fault, but it is like a level of like, they literally just don't know. And I think you have to, like, these new rising like companies or groups that are doing these paid time slots for these mobile robots, I don't know, like, it's a new thing, and so it can be sometimes challenging to educate the con organizers or the event staff on like what this is. And so sometimes when they get there, or when the mobile robots get to the event space, or when they actually explain what the mobile robots are, the event organizers are like, oh, we can't support that. Like, no, we can't do that. And so they have to cancel, right? And so it's like a matter of like, we're all trying to figure out, how do we educate and communicate the VTuber setup to people who literally have no idea. And a lot of times you're dealing with like security as well, because the security is like, yo, we can't, like, this is a hazard. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me that you're allowing somebody who's not here to virtually attend, virtually control this robot like it's a video game in a space or a convention center that has 10,000 people coming. No, that's a hazard. You see what I mean? Like, security as well will just be like, shut that down all the way. And so you really have to consider, like, no one knows what the fuck's going on, and it can be considered a hazard because, one, it's like there's internet and lag difficulties, so sometimes you'll push the button to like go forward, but it won't register until like 5 to 10 seconds later, or you can't see because there's like a lag, right? And so obviously you have your attendant with you, like making sure you're not running into people or into things, but you know, it can be a kind of, you know, rusty experience. You know what I mean? So yeah, you just have to consider that. Again, with the time slots, I think it's very important to develop a strategy. And I have not really been on mobile robots, at least in the capacity that the rising trend is. I've not really been on those. And so I've never really considered like, oh, what is my strategy? So I don't personally have a strategy for it. I literally just went on there to like, okay, let me just try it out because it seems interesting. I know that a lot of people like have their like QR code or something like that with their like model on their screen. And that works for some people. But like truly, it's like, how do you maximize the time that you have on a mobile rig, right? And so I'll talk about my experience on my own mobile rig, right? What I have done is be the most obnoxious human being I could possibly be. And every fiber of my introverted ass hates it, okay? I shit myself every time. My butt cheeks are sweaty. I'm getting sweaty just thinking about it. But I'd literally just be the most obnoxious human being on this fucking planet when I'm on a mobile rig. Why? Because people look at you. Because people look at you when you're being loud and crazy and obnoxious, even if, or especially if, you're on a fucking screen on wheels, okay? That is how you get people to look at you, okay? I would make D's nuts jokes as I'm rolling through Fan Expo SF on a mobile rig. I'll be like, happy holidays. Like, that's literally, everyone who has watched those streams know that that's my catchphrase. Like, I scream that. I scream that we have free stickers. I make jokes at the cosplayers. There's this one time where there's this dude who was cosplaying as like a Jedi or something like that from Star Wars. I don't know. I don't know Star Wars that deep. And they had 2 lightsabers. And I was like, damn, you have 2 lightsabers? What are you compensating for? And people laughed. And that's what you do. It's just, you have to be super obnoxious. That is my strategy, I guess. If I have a strategy, that's what it is. On my mobile rig specifically. It's to be obnoxious because you are a voice on a speaker You are an anime character on a screen. There's only so much you can do. The only option is truly to be obnoxious so that way people look at you and they are like, what is that? Let me go talk to that damn thing that's being so weird and obnoxious and making these nuts jokes. You know what I mean? So that's like really it. And that's my strategy. Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome to my TED Talk. Anyway, be obnoxious. Terrible. But yeah, I hate doing it. It is like not for me, but I know that in order to maximize my time on the mobile rig, because again, even with my mobile rig, technically it's a time slot too, because we only have so much battery, right? And so I have to maximize my time on there. You have to maximize your time on the robots too, right? And so really, the best thing to do is just be annoying, is just be loud. Try to attract people to come up to you and talk. You know what I mean? And that's really the best that I could suggest from my experience. There's probably other strategies out there. I have not considered them. So just to be blatantly honest, I have not considered them. But yeah. Anyway. Okay. All in all, I do think that it's a fun experience. Like I said, it's super cool. It's a really awesome experience to be able to go out, interact with people, and just like see another con and be in character while you're seeing a con. And like, I don't know, it's really cool and neat, almost like a video game, right? But I will admit that I do think that you're better off investing your time and your money and whatnot into your stream or your brand, especially if you're a newer VTuber, or especially if you're a smaller VTuber. And smaller, it's, you know, that definition varies depending on person to person, right? But even with my size, I struggle, okay? So I don't know if that helps. And I still think I'm a small streamer too, so you know what I mean? But anyway, I think it truly is like, if you want to grow an audience on a certain platform being a social media platform, if you want to grow it on Twitch, if you want to grow it on YouTube, if you want to grow it on Twitter, Instagram, you are better off actually investing your time and energy and effort on making posts and being active on those platforms, networking on those platforms and things like that, actually being present on social media versus being present on a mobile robot. It's a lot more worth it to invest in your brand and in whatever platform you actually want to grow. Because I can almost guarantee at this point, like from 20 plus different cons, I can almost guarantee that 20 plus, like all these cons I've been to, again, you get a little bit, but truly like active viewers, active listeners, people part of your community, like it's very few and far in between. And so if you really want to grow your Twitch, if you want to grow your YouTube, blah 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 blah, really spend your time on those platforms. It's better to do that, because that's where you're going to see the most return, is the longer that you spend time on that. I think cons can feel like really great because you get this like boom. At least this is my experience, because I hand out all these free stickers, and I hand out free follow stickers too, and people come back after the con, and it all seems great. And then there's like that big high, that peak almost, and then all of that kind of drains away as the weeks go by after the con, because they all like kind of taper off, you know what I mean? And so at that point, it's like, you know, if you just like streamed more, or put that time into actually just like streaming, or, you know, making more posts and making more content that like fits your brand, especially, you would probably see more people actually stick to your brand and stick to like what you are trying to do online, basically, and the platform that you're trying to grow. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but again, that's just like that's my experience. Okay. And like, I've also, to caveat, like I've been through a lot with my brand too. I'm constantly going back and forth. I finally feel like in the last few months, I've really solidified what my brand is. And like, that's partly part of the problem, right? If you don't have a good brand understanding of yourself, it's hard to present yourself, right? And so, but again, like, it's better to spend money and time and effort into really nailing down what your brand is and nailing down what you want to do. Because if you're just like, no matter what you decide to do, if you go into it willy-nilly and wishy-washy, you're not going to get the results that you would like to have, right? If you want to really have success, you have to set yourself up for success. And really the only way to do that is to hammer down like as much as you can, hone in on who you are, what your brand is, what you want people to walk away with, whether that be at a con or online. That's just general advice. So I feel like a lot of people that I see that are joining in on this rising trend of going onto mobile rigs and stuff like that, they have smaller followings. They also seem like people who their brands have been similar to what mine was in the past, where it was like so spread out. Like it was like they do this, they do that. They're a YouTuber, but also they do this charity work, but also they do their own music, and so they have all of these things, and it's like, how do you expect anyone to latch onto that? And just going to a con and having all those things, no one's gonna latch onto that. I'm very sorry to say, because you have way too many things. And I'm just speaking from experience, because I was there at some point where I had way too many aspects and way too many things as a part of my brand, right? And so, hold on one second. Okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought. Okay, also there was a hydrate, so let me do that while I'm paused. Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there's just so much that you don't realize goes into attending a con. And so I say this not to try to dissuade anyone from doing what they want to do. Again, I think you should try it at least once, but have your expectations set to like basically nothing, or just to have fun, or maybe create content. Totally fine. But as someone who has like made this my brand, which has been to go to over 20 different cons, blah, 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 like truly it is not worth it. I had a stream like a couple weeks ago talking about like how frustrating it's been to go through some of the things that I've had to go through, like with cons, whether that be organizing it or communicating with people or having the social awkwardness, rude people, like whatever, or the people that just, you think you have a connection with them and they don't ever come back. I've had that happen too. Like I've literally had these like hour long conversations in total. Like they'd come on day 1 and talk to me for 20 minutes. Day 2, they talk to me for 40 minutes. Day 3, they talk to me for another 30 minutes, and they never come back. Like I've had those too, where I'm like, oh, we just like, this is someone I genuinely connected with. Like maybe I'll see them again. I never see them again. And like, honestly, that's probably like where I get emotional as a person. Like I know a lot of people can just like detach and be like, I don't care, but I'm someone that's like, I'm there because I wanted to interact with the community. So I get really sad when I feel like I connected with somebody and like they don't come back. And I feel like that's very also narcissistic of me to say, because it's like, I'm not saying that I need them to come back for me. It's more so like, I thought I like had somebody or talked with somebody that could be a part of this community. And this community is not just me, it is other people too. Like there's so many people in this community that like I cherish, and that they can run the community by themselves. This community does not run because of me and solely because of me. We have Discord mods who put on amazing community events and whatnot. People join those and they have fun, and I'm not there. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking like they don't come back for me. I'm literally saying like, I thought this was someone that was like interested in being a part of this community, not watching Kōri, but being a part of this community. And it sucks to see like when you spend so much time talking with someone and you feel like you have a connection with them, or at least like that they might be interested, and then they don't come back again. It's like kind of like, it's no one's fault. I'm not mad at them. It's just kind of like me being like butthurt a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Like, does that sound bad? I don't know. Do I sound like a selfish person? But yeah, I mean, I just, it's weird. And then like the evil thoughts come in. That's like, man, why am I wasting my time and money and energy and effort, like doing all this to have these like long conversations with people on my days off of work, for nothing, And so that's where like the evil thoughts come in. Cause I know it's not all about that. Like I truly do know that, but it's just when it gets bad, that's where it goes. You know what I mean? So yeah. And, it's not something that all in all, it's not something that unless you like have a really set game plan and you have multiple people in your corner for, I think it's really hard to pull off. Like genuinely, it can be really tough to pull this off. But I applaud everyone who wants to try, okay? Because I was one of those people that tried, and I was one of those people that continue to keep doing it and evolving. And this is just some of the stuff that I learned. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love what I do still. I still really enjoy going to cons. I still really enjoy interacting with people at cons. Like, that hasn't changed. There's still so many positive aspects to going to cons, truly. But these are just the things that I feel like nobody talks about. I think it looks like the dream to like, oh, be a VTuber at a con. But like, honestly, it's not. Honestly, it's not. And it can be very tiring. Again, this is just my experience. This is just my perspective. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because I've been seeing this rising trend of people buying these time slots for time to be on a mobile robot at cons. And it's not to put down that experience. I think it's a wonderful experience. I've done it myself. It was awesome. But if you're paying money, like, I'm the kind of person that's like, if you're paying money for something, whether it be a VTuber model or, assets or a game or a time slot on a mobile robot, I'm going to be honest with you about, hey, do I think you should spend your money there? Do you want my opinion? Maybe you don't, but here's my opinion anyway, I'm just kidding, but I'm assuming if you're watching this, you want my opinion. So this is my advice. This is my opinion. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth to buy those slots, honestly, because it's more worth to invest in your own brand, building that up to be the best that it can be, until you can get to a point where you can go to cons, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, it's just, there isn't really a space for VTubing in cons still. It's still very new, and people are not used to it. Like I said, top bad question I get at cons is truly, is this AI? Is this real? It's embarrassing to admit that, but it's true. And so it's very new still. I think the second, I think the first number one top question that I get asked a lot of is, how do you do it? Like, how do you become a VTuber? And that's always a really tough question to answer. But I get those questions, and again, like, I have lengthy conversations with these people on like how to do it. I ask them about themselves. I ask them about what they want in VTubing, and they never come back. So it's like, it's kind of hurtful in some ways. Like, for me personally, it sucks when you feel like you laid your cards out, you tried to help them, you tried to be supportive and educational, and yet they don't reciprocate that support, you know what I mean? At least not in a way that I can always see, you know what I mean? So yeah, it sucks sometimes, but anyway, all right. Let me go ahead and continue here. Okay, here we go now. So here's my brief summary of what I've said. My recommendation, obviously, is don't go to cons if you expect numbers or conversion, or if you have a limited budget, time, or if you lack social battery, okay? All of those are kind of like important things to consider. If you have low numbers already, like I said, invest your time, invest your budget into trying to grow the audience that you have on your socials already. And again, it depends on what you want. Like, if you want to grow on Twitch, then you should spend more time there and spend more time having like events on there, doing collabs, things like that, right? If you want to grow your YouTube, maybe you're trying to post more edited content and things like that, more shorts, right? But going to cons is not going to do that for you. Maybe cons would help you create content and have content to post, but how many people honestly are searching like VTuber at convention? Not many people. Like, people are mostly searching VTubers playing Repo or VTubers playing, I don't know, the new Silent Hill 2 game or whatever. So like, they're not really looking for VTuber at con, right? They're looking at other things that VTubers normally do, right? I think going to conventions is like a niche within a niche, and so it's like really hard to like capitalize on it. It's hard to grow from it because it's like not something that many people do already. So yeah, and the people that are doing it are bigger VTubers, like I said, Zentreya, Iron Mouse, etc. They're bigger VTubers or they're agency VTubers that have that backing already and have the funds and means to be able to do it, whereas you might not, unfortunately. Not your fault, you know what I mean? And also, that's like their chapter 500 and you're still on chapter 10 of your career and your story, you know, so don't compare your story to theirs. You need to take the necessary, you know, write the necessary chapters in order to get to that climax of the story, is all I'm pretty much trying to say, right? So yeah. And again, if you have limited budget or time, you know, if you're working a day job like I am, and you only have so much money because it's hard to live out here, okay? Inflation's going crazy. You know, you really want to try to conserve your money and budget for things like emergencies, because your health and your mind and your space, that is most important. And then obviously, excuse me, I'm burping. Obviously, the other side of it is having the money for assets or things that can help you grow the platforms that you're on already. That's what's gonna make, you're gonna see the most out of that instead of like investing in cons and going to cons. And finally, again, if you lack the social battery, it can be really hard to do all of this con stuff, because it's truly like, it's rough. You spend hours. I mean, okay, the time slots, sure, maybe you're only on like an hour or two, but like you'll spend hours like having to, at least for me, I'll spend like 10 hours like sitting there. I give myself the breaks, and so really it's my own fault, but sometimes I only take like 1 or 2 breaks, and that's it. And then like the rest of the time for the 12 hours, like I'm online. I have to do a panel at 3:00. You know, I have to prepare for that panel. I have to eat really fast, make a really quick meal, and scarf that down, get back online, you know, and then talk to people. Like almost every few minutes you have someone coming up. Hopefully every few minutes you have somebody come up. You have to talk to them and interact with them. So if you don't have that social battery to handle those conversations, it can be very, very tiring. And to do that on a weekend, on your day off, for like 10 to 12 hours straight, it's tough, man. It really is. It's not for the faint of heart, truly. Next point, it is okay to accept that going to cons is not for you or it doesn't fit your brand. I think, honestly, if your brand is like, I am a VTuber that plays horror games, play the horror games. play it. Just play the horror games. Don't go to cons. You don't need to go to cons right now. Maybe when you're at the size and level as the bigger VTubers or the Shy Lilies of the world and things like that, like maybe then you can consider, do I want to go to a con? Because now I have the audience where if I go to a con, I can interact with them. Great. Boom. That's awesome. But if it's not something that fits your brand, don't go. It's really not worth it. It's better for you to invest in your brand and in the things that you want to do. If you're a horror VTuber, play more horror games, download more horror games, buy more of those, and spend more time playing those and making content out of that. That is your brand. You don't need to make content out of the cons. Like, truly, you don't. So don't do it, basically, is my suggestion. And it's okay to accept that that's not you. It may look cool, but is it worth your time and energy and effort and money to commit to that when you may realize you may not get much from it, right? So that's what I'm saying. My final point is, if you do go to cons, I highly recommend trying to make the most out of it with content. You know, make a social media schedule to like announce that you're going to the con, and then schedule out what the posts are during the event and after the event as well. And so really, like, when you're there at the con, try to, like, you know, if you can, take as many pictures as you can. Again, this also relies on the fact that you have like an attendee or a representative with you that you can just like pause and tell them to take a picture of you. And again, it's also a time constraint too, right? But try to, like, you know, make content out of like your experience at the con if you do end up going, because that's how I feel like you're gonna make the most out of your money, if especially considering like you may have a low conversion rate at the con, but that doesn't mean that you may have a low conversion rate after the con. I know that I did the Rough Riders game, the American baseball collab that I did back in June, and that was in Frisco, Texas. And I was on the Jumbotron, the Titantron, singing Take Me Out of the Ball Game and doing some Rough Rider chants. I don't think that many people followed me from that account. I mean, from that event. Like, maybe like 5 or 10 had like actually checked me out after the fact. But it was a social media post that I posted, the video of Kōri on that Titantron, that's what got me the traction on social media. That's what got me the followers. That's what got me the numbers, blah, blah, blah. If we're talking about numbers, but that's what got me the interactions was the video itself. And so it's okay to try to just like focus on that. Focus on taking those videos, focus on taking those photos, because after, when you do post them, you never know. You never know when you post something and it does happen to go viral or it does happen to gain traction. You know, you can gain that conversion rate, quote unquote, can come after the fact, like after the con. Maybe you can try to post stuff about that con or these funny things that you did at the con or whatever. And then those posts help you gain traction there instead of like the con itself. Does that make sense? So let the content be the thing that leads you and drives you, but don't let the con be the thing that leads you and drive you. Does it mean? The con at the end of the day is the cons, okay? The con is the cons. The pros is the content, all right? There we go. Does that make sense? Simple maths right there. Quick maths. Anyway, simple equation. But yeah, that's there you go. That's my thoughts. All in all, I again, 80% of my time going to conventions has been wonderful, has been positive. I still truly love what I do. And I'm not like telling you all of these truths just to be like, I don't want you guys to do it. I just want to do it. It's not like that. It is literally me complaining. I am complaining about the dumb shit that I've had to go through in order to do the things that I do. That's it. You just listened to a stream of me ranting. That is all this is, okay? But no, it genuinely, it's just to like honestly spread awareness about how difficult this is and why it is such a feat when you do see someone do it successfully. You know what I mean? It is truly awesome. It's an awesome thing that we get to do. I love doing it, but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and most of the time you don't get much from it. You know, so honestly, like, you might, like I said, you just have better chances elsewhere, putting your money elsewhere. I really don't think that people should be doing this. And even at my size, it barely is worth it. And worth it meaning as far as conversion to stream numbers. I think it is worth it for me because I need another creative outlet. Like, I need to feel like I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. And because of my history in the cosplay community, I am truly passionate about connecting with the con community. I love doing that, truly. And so it works for me because at the end of the day, like, it is worth it in that sense. It is not worth it in the conversion sense, but it is worth it in the sense that I feel like I'm accomplishing what I am passionate about. And at the end of the day, that's what VTubing is pursuing what you're passionate about and sharing those passions with the people around you. That's what life's about, bro. Getting deep in here. But honestly, like, follow whatever you're most passionate about and don't latch onto these trends, like, unless you really feel like you're passionate about it. Try it once, see if you love it, and then keep doing it if you want. I'm not, trying to dissuade you. I'm just saying these are the things that I've had to struggle with and come to terms with in my time of doing 20 plus cons. So that's it. I love what I do. I love the people that I've met. Thank you to all of those who have stayed, whether you're watching the VODs after, or you're watching the content, the edited content, or you're lurking on the stream, or you're lurking on Twitter or on Instagram. Like, I really do appreciate all of you. None of this was to put down the efforts that you guys have made to be present in your own way in my VTubing career. But, I'm just speaking from my experience and speaking from the things that, like, I struggle with on my day-to-day. And it's okay to say that we struggle with things as human beings. This is what I struggle with as a content creator. I don't expect people to understand it, but this is just what I live with. So, as someone who's been doing this for the last, 2 years. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I wish you, if you are going to be going to cons and things like that, I wish you the best of luck. I stand firm in the fact that there's very little that I can do outside of talking about it in this capacity. I've had people try to DM me and ask me questions, and I unfortunately don't really have the time to, sit down and explain all these things because there's just so much to it, as you can see. So I did my best, okay? I hope this was somewhat helpful and somewhat entertaining because I know it's just blah, information and complaining and Kōri's annoying. I totally get it. But I believe in every single one of you to pursue a path that you're passionate about and that you feel like you can get your creative juices out and that you can be happy. I want everyone that's a content creator to feel like they can create a sustainable path for them. And sometimes that sustainable path is a harder path to kind of tread because you're not maybe jumping on trends like everybody else is, but it's sustainable for you, and that's all that matters, okay? Because longevity of content creation can be really hard to achieve, you know? So yeah, anyways, good luck, and I hope this was helpful, and that is the end of that. So I will now be opening up a Q&A. If anyone has any questions, I will try to address them as best as I can here. This is the only time really that I will try to address con-specific questions because there's such long answers sometimes that I really can't answer it elsewhere. But yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. If it is something that I already addressed, I might just redirect you to watching the VOD again because it's like a really long explanation. All this shit's so fucking crazy, dog. Anyway, but yeah, and oh, and the last thing I want to say is sorry. I want to also throw out a huge thank you to all the event organizers that have allowed me to join their con, join their event, be on their robot or whatever, be at a booth at their con. Like all the people that I've networked with, all the people that I've met and that I've worked with and whatnot throughout these con experiences or event experiences. Like I've truly cherished that. And I like I said, I love what I do. I can't stress that enough. I'm so passionate about going to cons and doing these IRL events. Like I love it so much. I've made it my brand that I love it so much. But these are just things that like I feel like is part of it. You know, it is part of it. I would be lying. I don't like lying to people, and I'd be lying if I didn't say there were some drawbacks to what we do at the cons and stuff like that. But thank you to all of those people who have given me a chance as a VTuber to be at their event or to utilize the technology that they have. So just want to put that out there as well. Anyway, all right. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let me go ahead and catch up on chat. Okay. I'm super far back. Okay. Let me take a swig of water. Kōri is built different. True. Hit different. Anyway. Oh my. Yeah. You think people would read. You know, you think it and then they don't. Anyway. Thank you, Cam, for the subscribe. Happy 14 months, Kōri. Thank you, Cam. Happy 14 months to you. Thank you so much. Sorry for my late response. Oh my gosh. Hi. Thank you for being here. Kōri is defined by raccoon. I don't know what the raccoon is called, but I will fight 100% raccoon. Ack the rack. If that helps you. AK. Let's see. That's a great comeback joke, though. Damn, I love that, Kōri. Oh, the what was it? What was I talking? The wallet thing. How much money's in your wallet? Yeah, I know. That was awkward when we first met. Yeah, you know, and I don't like going back to this, but there's a difference between awkward and not interested. Does that make sense? And after doing it for so long, I can see the difference between those two things. So what I was complaining about earlier was not about people being awkward. It was about people not being interested in Kōri's brand and the things that we were doing there. Does that make any sense? There's a difference. And I don't really know how else to present it to all of you because, you know, this is my day-to-day. And so, like, it just comes to me. Like, I know what it is naturally because I've been through it so many times that I don't really know how to explain it to a normal person who hasn't experienced it so many times. But just trust me, if you can. I know the difference between awkward and not interested. And I was complaining about the non-interested because I'm also equally awkward. I'm always sweating my butt cheeks off whenever somebody talks to me. Even now, and I've done it so many times, but there's just a stark difference that I can see, but I can't really explain unless, like, you've really seen it so many times, you know? And Cam is not one of those people, okay? Let me be that clear. Me? Not you either, Kai, all right? Oh my god, the Star Trek guy. Yeah. Man's had to get that hyperfixation off his chest. Oh my gosh. Thank you for your look, Erin. Thank you. You're all special here from the cons. Thank you for coming back. Agree. Anyone who comes back from the cons, like I said, that's why, like if you stay, that's why I cherish you even more, because we got to have that unique experience and you actually stayed, you know? So I cherish y'all even more because you stay. All right. That's how I see it. But it does, you know, it is what it is. Anyway. Every year at Anime NYC is a shit show. Yeah, sounds about right, honestly. It's a racket. Yeah. Imagine living here. I can't, honestly. I'd hate to. I'd be definitely drowning in debt for sure. Let's see. Hello, that other data man. How you doing? I've heard many a thing about NYC. Yeah. 600, damn. 5,000, 5K for some booths. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Some of the vendor hall booths, they're pretty expensive. I have definitely seen some for like 4,000, almost 5,000. Generally speaking, I think I see them for like 2,000 to 3,000, but I've seen it as low as 750 or somewhere around there, but it just depends. Anyway, even with all the money in the world, hell no. Yeah, I did not go to those ones, I'll be honest. Yes, con organizing, exactly. Hi, Nines, by the way, good to see you. Hello, John, good to see you as well. Welcome in. How are you doing? I was played, LOL. True, Kai, true. Hopefully my conversion helped. I appreciate it. Yes, 100%. Every little bit helps, 100%. It is always super appreciated. Shout out to the people who do come around when they can. 100%. That is 100%. That's exactly. That's how I feel, too. Big shout out to them. Yeah. I'm so glad I got to meet you at a con. Those that don't come back are missing out. Thank you, Goat Mom. I appreciate it. See, like, I appreciate the people that we have, okay? Truly. So thank you for being here. And I say that every stream. They really are missing out. True. Y'all really should recommend Kōri-Oujo to cons. Sometimes there's a tab with the guest section, and there's a section you can recommend guests to come in. Thank you, Twitchmon. Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you. Here's also a tidbit from someone that runs these robots. The main idea, at least for me, is to give someone that can't be physically present at the site the chance to go and experience it as if they were there, going to different areas, talking to conquerors, etc. How you use that experience is up to you. That's true. And you're right. Exactly. It is completely up to you. And that's why I said, depending on how you want to go, all this information either may be null or it may be a little bit helpful or super helpful. You know what I mean? So it's all dependent on your experience and what you want out of it. And I made that clear earlier in the stream, but if that wasn't clear again, like this is all up to your perspective and what you want, what you expect, you know, like if you just want to have fun, if you just want to see the con because you can't go there, like that's 100%. Nines is right. Like just do it. Have fun. You know what I mean? Don't expect anything out of it. But like I've just seen, from what I can tell, people starting to think or invest in going to cons when it might not be what I believe, my opinion, based on my experience, it might not be the right time for them. You know what I mean? Or it might be like, I think that they could potentially use that money or time elsewhere. And then there's just a lot of people who ask me about it and like, here's my honest opinion. So, so yeah. Kōri is real with it. I try to be. Vaughn, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you. Give us a bean. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, the raid, Ridley. It's so good to see you. Thank you for the coming in today. How was your stream? What did you stream today? Welcome in. Thank you for the shout out, mods. Appreciate that. Welcome in. How y'all doing? We are on the Q&A section of the stream, but we just spent the stream talking about the pros and cons of going to cons as a VTuber. So that's what we're talking about now. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm just on the Q&A portion now. I've just talked for like 2.5 hours. So yeah, that's what we're up to. But how are you? What were you up to? Welcome in. We were playing Verne? Nice. I don't think I've heard of that before. That sounds cool though. I like the name. I like words that start with V. Like vagina. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, no, that's great. No, awesome. It's so good to see you. How you been? You're being chocolate. Chocolate! Let's go. We love some chocolate. Is it the after Valentine's Day chocolate sales? You know what I mean? Those are hot. I remember one time I got Valentine's Day chocolates, like the after sales, and it was like so cheap, and I kept that. I like had it for like months. Like it just lasted me so long. I think one of them lasted me like a year. I was like, why do I still have this? It's already February again. Yeah, it's insane. I threw that out, but like I had it for a long time. Anyway, such a cool game. Nice. I've been good. Absolutely. I just got a pack for 55% off. Let's go. Heck yeah. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. But yeah, thank you so much for streaming. Thank you for creating content. And thank you so much for bringing over your wonderful community here. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're eating good. Snacking on some chocolate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you don't know, yeah, my name's Kōri. Hi. I am your IRL event VTuber. I've been to 20 different cons, and that's part of the reason why I'm talking today about cons and my experiences there. And we are doing a really cool event in April 27th. We have a concert in Las Vegas, and we have like 80 plus VTubers that'll be performing in group collab songs or in solo acts in the opening acts of the concert. And that's again in April. It's in Vegas. It's a free event. If you can make it out there, feel free to come by. It's free. We're really excited about it, so hope to see you there. If not, it will be live streamed on my Twitch here on Kōri-Oujo. / what is it, Twitch, whatever, on this channel right here later on in April. It'll be streamed here if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's our next major event. Otherwise, we've got a partnership with a NASCAR driver that I'm really excited about as well, and we're working on getting some races on the calendar here. And that's the main stuff. I like to do chaos on stream. That is it. Thank you. That's me. Anyway, what's up to you? I need to do some homework, but I'll be lurking. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for lurking, and good luck on the homework. Hopefully you can get it out real quick. And thank you again for the raid. Good to see you. Okay, let me keep catching up in chat. Thank you again for the raid. Let's see. She ran over my foot. You walked into it, Zio. Don't talk to me like that. You walked into it, okay? You walked into the foot. I mean, the wheel. There we go. The foot of the mobile rig, and your foot walked into my foot of the mobile rig. Okay, there we go. Damn straight. Yeah, as you do. Let's go. So recovering to this day. I got a limp now. All right, chill. All right, squid boy. All right. What's that robot saying? D's what? Seems like a good strategy. No, legit. Oh my gosh. It's normal. Yeah. Thank you. All good stuff. Thank you, Sad Composition. Appreciate it. Good to see you, by the way. Hope you're doing good. Sad Composition is also going to be a part of our Vegas concert. I don't know why my brain fucking blanked so hard. Sorry. I was like, thank you for the info. Of course. I'm happy to. I mean, it's just my perspective and my opinion. Please take it with a grain of salt. Please make your own decisions and make your own experiences for yourself as well, and learn from your own. Like, just take mine with a grain of salt. But that's just, those are my truths, okay? I'm nothing but honest about my experiences, because it's just my experiences, you know? Anyway. Damn, I probably missed more than half of what Kōri said. It's okay, same, honestly. I wasn't here for this stream. Anyway. Let me catch up on YouTube chat as well. Come to Vegas then, MLG. I'm on the next flight out there, Shogun. Let's go. Oh my god. We wish we were in Vegas for our concert. Going with people who don't drain your battery is helpful. Yeah, drain your social battery, 100%. It's understandable, not selfish. Thank you, Neko. I appreciate that. Thank you for understanding, everyone. How difficult would it be to visit another country's cons as a VTuber guest? I think it really just boils down to the same thing. I mean, it depends on how you want to go. Usually, yeah, that one's tough. It depends on how you want to go. I'd say usually if you want to go on you might need to send someone out there if you want a booth. Like, you need a representative. Or you need to pay someone to run your booth, and you have to send all your stuff over. International shipping is a bitch. International shipping is very expensive, and so you have to go through like all these tariffs and stuff like that too, which are all fucked because, you know, the things that are happening in the world right now. And so I don't recommend it. based on the research that I have done, it is really hard. It's already really hard to do it in your own country. It's going to be twice, if not 5 times as hard to do it internationally, depending on how you want to do it. If you know somebody in whatever country that you would like to be present at, you might be able to, hold on. Okay. You might be able to, like, get them to do the mobile rig for you. Like, if you're paying for a slot, like how those like what I was talking about earlier, those companies or groups that like allow you to pay for a slot to be on their mobile robot, I mean, you just have to pay them. So then, like, that's not that hard. You know what I mean? However, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to go in a different capacity, especially if you're a guest, they usually expect a lot more out of a guest. So they expect you to do panels, they expect you to be there and like do meet and greets and stuff. So as a guest specifically, very difficult is my opinion, because I already deal with those difficulties in like my normal every day in the States. And so, you know, I can only imagine it's twice as hard for out of state or out of the country, excuse me, because the international flights are really expensive. You know, the time differences as well, time zones already make it a struggle for travel across the States. I can only imagine internationally how that also can affect it. So yeah, I would say that's part of it. And then it's just more expensive in general. So it's probably mostly cost, to be honest. It's really expensive to try to do anything international. So. Oh, and then the taxes. That was something that I did not talk about at all. I don't think people realize this, but in order to sell merchandise, you do need a business EIN. Like, you have to do taxes for that. So if you're already a VTuber that struggles doing taxes, don't do this, okay? Because you have to, it is illegal to sell stuff and not, you know, like, not that you can't have a business thing, but it's like you need to tax that income. So generally speaking, if you are vending at a con, they require you to send like your business EIN. And like, for example, like if you go to a con that's not in the state that you have it registered in. So let's say my business was registered in Las Vegas, in Nevada. Sorry, not Las Vegas, but in Nevada. Then if I were to go to like, if I were to go to Oregon, I would have to get like a permit, a state permit to be able to sell in that state. Although, is there sales tax? No, I don't think there's sales tax in Oregon. Sorry, that's a bad state to use that example with. But any other state that has sales tax, you have to, and you have to report that, right? So you have to get a temporary sales permit in that state. And then you have to report all of that. So yeah, taxes are like a huge deal. And I don't know how the international taxes work either. If it's already complicated in different states, like just doing it normally in the US, and I can only imagine how it is internationally. So I don't know if that helps, but yeah. Don't sell merchandise in a vendor hall and stuff like that unless you know you can do taxes. That's all I can say. Anyway, I'm curious to know what the cheapest option would be. Maybe mobile rig. So the mobile rig is probably not the cheapest option. I don't know. It's hard to say because you have to get the mobile rig there, and that's the problem. It's very expensive. I mean, just for my rep to go to the Level Up Expo in Las Vegas for the concert and stuff, just for my rep to go there, we have to pay for an oversized bag, which is another $100 fee for a suitcase. For an oversized bag. And that's just the bag is an extra $100 because it happens to be a little bit over 50 pounds limit. Yes. So I don't know. It's complicated, basically. I don't know. I haven't cared enough to look that deep in it, but yeah. I know I was awkward as hell, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't proud to show off how long I was subscribed to you, even if I wasn't an active part of the community yet, because I'm a narcissist. You're not. Oh my God. No, now I feel bad. You know what? Whatever, Shogun. Your point has been proven. All right, shut up. Con-related question. If you were able to get a 3D model, how would you want to incorporate it into your convention experience? Oh my gosh. So many different ways. I've really wanted a 3D model for so long. Ever since I started VTubing, obviously, I've wanted a 3D model. So yeah, I have a couple of different ideas, but I don't want to talk about it. I know that sounds really like shady, but it's just because like I want to think about it deeper when I get there. I don't want to dream about it right now because then I'm going to feel even worse about myself. So so yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but no, I've had ideas with the 3D model like a lot, constantly. I would really love to have a 3D model, and I'd love to incorporate that into the con experience. I mean, obviously, one thing that I could definitely say is like the Vegas concert. I wish I had a 3D model for that. Like I really do. It'd be so great, but I don't. So it's just me like being that fucking meme on TikTok of like that VTuber concert, and it was just you know. So yeah, I wish that I could be 3D, but unfortunately I'm only D's nuts, you know. Anyway. Man, I just realized the concert will be the third time I will see you at a con. I know it seems like, well, yeah, duh, but it hadn't clicked yet. That's kind of wild, right? Yeah, 3 times. Third time's a charm, right? Third time's the most epic time with the concert, right? I mean, you saw our first ever, like, performance at TaioCon, and now you get to see, like, this huge-ass event, so that's really exciting. So, yeah, no, part of the reason why I decided to do the TaioCon performance in Arizona was because I knew that you were going to be there, Shogun. I don't think I would have done it otherwise. So yeah, and I think that also contributes to the Level Up Expo one too. I knew that you guys were going to be there, and so I was like, I know at least 4 people would show up to the concert, I hope. So I was like, that's worth it to me, even if it's just 4 people in the concert. Which, by the way, we've sold, or, you know, it's a free event, so it's not like we've sold it, but like 24, I think, people have gotten the free tickets for the concert. So 24? I thought it was only gonna be 4 people. What the fuck? That's like 20 more people according to my calculations. So anyway, yeah, wow, that's crazy. I'm excited, and I actually got reached out by someone who's like a photographer or like a media person that like wants to attend the event as well. And I'm like, what? You're emailing me about this? Like, what? So I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit. That just happened today, by the way. That's like fresh. That's like, oh my god, that's hot tea. But yeah, I'm gushing right now because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. So anyway, yeah. Let me see. I love those people who hear someone say, here's a list of experiences I have to prove that I know what I'm talking about. And they're just like, nah, you're wrong. Like, bruh. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Taxes. Damn you, capitalism. Yeah. Las Vegas is in California. You know what, Shogun? Yeah, I said it again. You know what? You know what. Period. And I'm not going to tell you because you know. Why do you feel bad? Sorry. Next bad question. All right. Nah, dog. The 2D model did fucking work at TaioCon. Ah, thank you. I appreciate that. At least I know a few extra, maybe, perhaps. Okay. You know, my little bro does photography. I might be able to pull some strings for some free work. Oh, no worries, no pressure. But that would be cool because we'd have like professional photos and shit. But hey, no worries, no pressure. Only if they want to. They're, like, I want them to have a good time. That's the priority. So, you know, no worries. But yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, let me see. Let's see. Hello, Ciel. How do you think VTubers could branch out? I'm thinking of using it for my author account, but I don't think it's been done before. Oh no, there's plenty of VTubers who like do Arthur Red Dead Redemption. No, there's plenty of VTubers who do creative writing and things like that. I mean, I'm one of those people. I literally have 2 visual novel games. I literally have an English degree with the emphasis on creative writing, and I've written my lore like in visual novel form. So yes, no, there's a lot of people who do that. I think it depends though, because VTubing is really at its core, it's streaming. And so if you're in it to try to promote a book, it's kind of like not the right audience, I will admit. You might if you are there to promote a book, if that is your intent, if that is your goal, this is probably isn't the place for it, to be honest, just to be my experience from what I understand. But if you like want to incorporate VTubing into your writing, like, you know, your character or it's your lore, you know, you can make it work somewhat, but you can't expect a lot from it. Like, I did those visual novels purely because I wanted to do it out of fun, and I expected absolutely nothing from it. And really, it didn't help me any in the VTubing space. Like, nobody actually cares that I have 2 games. Very little. I don't think even that many people know that I have visual novel games that I made and produced myself and wrote myself, you know. But like, I did it because I wanted to, you know. But it didn't help me grow any as a VTuber. So it just depends on how you want to grow, what you want to promote. If you want to grow as a VTuber, I don't recommend doing it because VTubing is really streaming at its core. It's playing video games, it's interacting with the community. It's not so much writing. You know, if you do want to pursue being an author, I do just recommend focusing on that on a separate account, basically. That is my suggestion, at least. So yeah. YoHallo Hunter, good to see you. Welcome in. Hi Sailing, by the way, as well. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. Oh my god. Favorite con city you visited, Kōri? I have never physically been at any of the cons that I've been to, so I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite. I don't know if that's like what you were asking, like, oh, you visited a con city and which one did you like? Nah, I've never been to any of the cons that I have on my list. I've never been there physically. The only physical event, like, the only event I went to physically was the baseball event. That's the only one that I went to. So I guess I can only choose that one. So, Frisco, Texas, baby. I did really enjoy it, not gonna lie. They had Bahama Bucks, which was lit. It was fucking shaved ice for days. I definitely OD'd on shaved ice and may or may not allegedly stole shaved ice from a kid. Allegedly. Didn't actually happen. Let me get the story straight. Anyway, and then the barbecue, oh my god, I posted a picture of the Texas barbecue, I don't know when this was, a couple days ago, but oh my god, it was so good, it was so good, it was so tasty. I wish I could isekai myself back to Texas right now just for the freaking, the barbecue, it's so great, I fucking love that shit. Anyway, yeah, so if I had to choose, it'd be Frisco, Texas, because I had so much good food. And I almost, like, died, though. Not gonna lie. I felt like the heat was absurd. It was, like, a heat that, like, oh, man. It was absurd. And so I almost passed out. Like, legit. I was still on the verge of passing out when I got back to the air-conditioned hotel room. I had to, like, get ice and, like, wet towels. And, like, I was just, like, I'm so weak when it comes to any type of, like, weather, whether it just generally speaking, I don't know. It's mostly just the heat, though. I can do all cold type. I mean, maybe because I'm an ice princess, but I can do anything else. But just like anything that's above like my body temperature, well, less than that, I freak out. Anything above, I don't know, 60 degrees, I freak out. I was kidding. It's terrible. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. The concert's gonna be a freaking banger. True, Hunter. I ran into one of your robots at a con about a year ago. Super cool to talk with you, and it's been cool to see everything you've been up to since then. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's so sweet of you to say. Thank you. That, wow. It's been quite a journey for sure. And, wow. It's full circle, huh? Because, like, now you're part of the concert and stuff like that. Doing a little IRL event yourself, you know, if you think about it. So, no, that's awesome. Thank you for saying that. I didn't even think about taxes. Yeah, taxes, no one thinks about it, but it is a thing. Everything is all about money. True. $100 extra. Quick, someone donate to her goal to pay that off. No, don't worry about it. It's okay. I got it covered. Don't worry. Thank you, though. I just need the iPad. Thank you. That's huge. We hope it gets filled. I hope so, too. I hope that we can fill up the theater. That'd be great, but I don't expect it by any means. Like that, I only expected 4 people to go. So, anyway, love your games. Thank you. Oh, I meant like the people, Kōri. I can't choose one, honestly. I mean, it's not even like I'm trying to be an angel here. It's literally like it's so hard. Because like I had experiences where like at Minneapolis, I had a lot of really lengthy conversations with people, and yet they never came back afterwards. So I was like, that's weird, you know? Like, I really felt like I connected with them, and then they never came back to the stream after that, or really anywhere. And so I was like, that's strange, you know? So it's really strange. Like, it's hard to say if I have, like, a favorite, like, you know, favorite community that I have interacted with at a con. I mean... No, I don't think I do. I've had some really, like, great experiences. Like, I can talk about, like, some of my favorite experiences at different cons, but, like, I don't think there's, like, that was just one experience out of, like, many other interactions I had at that con, and so, like, I can't really say that's my favorite con, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite. Sorry. I'm genuinely trying to think if I do. I don't think I do. I don't know. Oh, sorry. It's so hard. Yeah, no. I mean, you guys, like, my stream. My stream is probably my favorite community. The Discord community is pretty great too. But, like, as far as actual, like, cities and stuff like that, and, like, different communities at these cons, IRL, I don't think I have one. Because, yeah, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway. Let's see. Allegedly, right? Wait, Sailing donated? Oh my god, no! Are you serious? I missed it too. My headphones are off. I'm so sorry. I didn't see it, and I was looking at the chat on YouTube, and that was covering my screen where the pop-up usually shows. Sailing, did you really? Oh my gosh! Thank you. Thank you so much. I swear I was not saying that because I wanted you guys to pay that. I'm sorry. Thank you though. Thank you. That does help. Because I wasn't expecting to pay $100 for an oversized bag, but I was like, all right, I guess I have to send that to you now. Man, thank you. Thank you, Sailing. Thank you so much. Wow. I can't just like, wow. I'm just gushing right now. Thank you. I'm not going to mention any more money to any of y'all, okay? Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. She notices and then we scatter. Well, now you're scattered. Okay, great. All right. Well, nobody told her. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm back. What's up, back? Anyway. Nah, Kōri, way more than 4 peeps will be there. You're a teammate. Ah, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, we definitely have 24 at the, well, hopefully 24 people got tickets. So, we'll see. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. No pressure. I will pressure him. Okay. Thank you, Shogun. Got it. I also do photography, but from another country. Sorry for not being able to support. No, not at all. You guys being on the stream is the support that I'm kind of like craving and looking for right now anyway. So the fact that y'all are on the stream means so much to me. It's what I am hoping for and needing right now in my time, in my career right now. So thank you for being here on the stream. That is what matters the most. Thank you. Just what Shogun says. Wow, I'm just echoing Shogun at this point. Shogun's the real streamer here. Oh, speaking of lore and storytelling, I am so freaking pumped for this Friday. Ah, yes, this Friday is our first D&D campaign night thingy. Yeah, really excited. I did so terribly at that. Yes, yeah, really excited. Really, really excited. So come to the Discord on Friday, the Kōri Discord. I do not have... Yeah, could add that one, I guess. D&D. Yeah, but that's just a Discord. Just link the Discord. It's in the Discord, dog. Anyway, we have D&D nights on the Discord starting on Friday. We have campaign 1 already planned and figured out. So we have the players for campaign 1 already. Campaign 2, because of the concert in April, it's going to start in, I think, May is what we talked about. But yeah, we'll have multiple campaigns, multiple chances for people to be able to join. So even if you didn't get in on this round, you can definitely get in another campaign. But yeah, so if you are someone that likes D&D, feel free to join the Discord, go to react to the rules, okay, first, then react to the D&D channel, and you'll have access to all that. So yeah, anyway, You can always ask questions about the D&D stuff on the Discord as well if you need any directions and stuff to where you need to go or what you need to do. There's something special about those strange kind of medium to small towns that have a ton of good food that just kind of creeps their way into your heart, huh? Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Agree with that. Let's see. I got a question. Sailing is like Batman? Okay. All right, let's see. Have you thought about starting a VTuber representation company in the future? You're very knowledgeable in this field of what it lacks. So, like, what do you mean by that? If I may, like, I don't mean to answer your question with a question, but what do you mean? Like, what does a VTuber representation company, like, look like? Is that, like, management, or is that, like, consultations, or, yeah, what does that mean? I'm trying to understand. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's see. Just dropping by to say goodnight. Have a good night. Thank you. Man, I wish I didn't have to work. Otherwise, I would apply. No, I get it. Take some days off, okay? No, just kidding. Only if you want. Let's go. You're good. Like those who help set up IRL events like booths. Oh, I see. Got it. A company like that. Probably not. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Taxes. Taxes. It always comes down to that. I don't want to do more taxes. I already struggle with the taxes that I have to do normally with the business and with the Kōri and the Kōri business and with my personal taxes, okay? But yeah, I will also say the problem, okay, it's just a lot. Like, you know, I would have to employ people, and that's like a whole ass another thing I have to consider for taxes and business operations. Like, could I run a business? 100%. I know I could if I wanted to, but it's just not what I want to do with my career. Like, I love Kōri, and I would rather spend time making a business out of Kōri rather than making a business out of that, you know? So while I could consider like doing all that setup and stuff, like the thing is I only have James because of the fact that we kind of barely, we knew of each other, basically, when I was in the cosplay community. And that's the only reason, and I knew that James did work like that. Like, there are companies out there that help set up booths and whatnot. And so there is, like, already stuff out there for it. Now, they don't have VTubing stuff specifically, you know? Not many of them. Now, there's, like, some rising ones, right? But I only know James because of my connection, because of the fact I was in the cosplay community before. So it's very unique and special to me, and it's only James. Like, I genuinely, if James dropped out, I'd be fucking screwed. So so I'm very lucky in that front that James has agreed to continue doing the you know, the stuff for the cons and stuff. Obviously, James is getting paid, so that's something I also have to consider, right? But yeah, it's like it's a completely different thing that I just wouldn't be able to handle. And then this is like a personal thing, but I'm tired of talking to people as well. I know this sounds so nasty, but legit, like, sometimes I really don't like communicating with other people. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes VTubers can be the worst type of people to try to communicate with. So I can't imagine trying to communicate with someone on like, okay, what do you want to do? And here's what we're going to set up. And then they get shit wrong. And even though I've clearly communicated what they need to do. Yeah. Like, I can't tell you how many times I tried to explain. I answered the same question like 4 or 5 times for like something with the concert. I'm not going to call anyone out, by the way. It's not a complaint, but just to set the mood, set the example. I answered like the same question like 4 or 5 times for the VTuber concert group collab songs, right? Like 4 or 5 times, the same question. And even when I plainly laid it, after it got asked the first time, I was like, that's a good question. Let me go ahead and add that to this main text here, or like add it places to where people can access it. And even after I added it to very clear spots on the form or on the in these announcement messages, it still wasn't followed. So It's like it doesn't matter how much you try to communicate sometimes when you're having to manage so many people, there's bound to be one or two people that like can't follow directions, which is like not there. Like I'm not mad about that, okay? I'm not calling anyone out. It's not a bad thing, but it's just I can't do that every day. Like I genuinely don't want to do that every day. Like I'm good, honestly. So yeah, no, I would never consider doing that. I don't want to do that. You know, I've had people be like, "Oh, you'd be good at like starting your own agency and stuff like that." Fuck no. I don't want to interact with anyone else. I don't want to interact with more people than I need to. Like truly. And I know that sounds nasty, but that's just like personally how I feel based on just how I am as a person, okay? And just my experiences. So, yeah. Anyway, that makes sense. I respect that. Yes. What? Wait. Was there another donation? Oh my gosh. Zio, what the heck? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Where are you guys? Stop supporting me, okay? Thank you, but jeez. Thank you, but jeez. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Zio. Thank you for the support. Thank you for helping. Anyway. Real. Yeah. Hello, Pokey. Good to see you. Customer service drains. Yeah, I can't imagine how con people are like. Oh yeah, I'm already exhausted talking to the people that I have to talk to, like, and managing all the things that I have to just myself. So I definitely cannot imagine doing it for other people. So yeah. Good luck with the customers, yeah. Anyway. Nah, talking to people sucks. It does. It does. Time to bully. Is it time to bully Kōri with showing our support? No, I'm ending the stream right now. You can't do it. Anyway, support it against your will. Stop supporting me. It's crazy, dog. Oh my gosh, dude. Legit. We support the heck out of you, Kōri. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Okay. I'm thank you so much because I was thinking of doing robot con stuff. Yeah. Yeah. My recommendation is don't do it. But like I do, like, unless if you want to do it for funsies, I do think you should try to experience it at least once. But just set your expectations low, I guess, depending on what you want out of it. Again, like, it's all dependent on what you want and like what you expect, right? Like what you want your experience to be. It all is dependent on that. So really, yeah. But from my perspective, it's sometimes I think it is more worthwhile to invest in really yourself and what you currently have, like elevating what you currently have instead of branching off to do something like almost random. Like, when else do you bring up to your community like, yeah, I'm going to a con? Like, it doesn't, yeah, I don't know, it's just not it's really weird. It's a weird thing and it's hard to explain, but my experience is just don't do it. But yeah, Kōri, I have certain expenses for this concert that I have already managed to cover. Snow Serps, hold my shaved ice. No, really? Oh my god, yeah. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, everybody. Every little bit helps, especially now that I'm a proud homeowner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thank you for that. But anyway, any other questions? Let me know if you have any other questions. But I did want to mention, since we're talking about it a little bit, I could have went to the screen. Anyway, we have the concert coming up on April 27th. If any of you are in the Las Vegas area, it is in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Galaxy Theaters, okay? And this is a free event. You just have to get yourself there, essentially. It's on April 27th, Sunday, April 27th. The doors open at 4 p.m. The stream will start at 4 p.m. as well. So if you can't make it in person, we'll be live streaming it as well. And we've got like about an hour and a half of like opening acts and things like that, because I cannot perform for 4 hours straight. I don't know if you guys realize that or not, but I can't. Sorry. And then the rest of it is me performing. So, so yeah. And I'm really excited. I will be hopefully announcing all of the soloists and the featured performers soon. We've got a really surprising lineup that I didn't think I'd be able to manage, but I did. And at least for my standards, because I didn't think anyone would say yes. But yeah, so I'm really excited to announce that. We're going to be announcing that hopefully soon, by like the end of this month or beginning of next. So really looking forward to that. And I'll be performing a bunch of my music, my original songs that are mostly seen on my recent album release, Celestial Curse. And I'll also be on the mobile rig for a little bit afterwards, but you can find me on the mobile rig during the Level Up Expo, in case we don't have time, because we need to see what the time looks like at that point. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's what I want to tell you. Feel free to get a ticket if you want to reserve your spot. They're free again. We also have exclusive merch if you want to support the concert, because it is a free event, but if you happen to want to support and get some exclusive merch as well, feel free to check that out. The posters are like holographic films, so they're really pretty, and I'd like to have one for myself, but we'll see. And I also have pen lights, and they're custom pen lights that are actually affordable because I'm making them by hand. So if you want them, you should definitely try to get one and reserve one for yourself, because yeah, it's not gonna really be there anymore. So that's not the right merch one. Just go to the concert website, and then there's the exclusive merch there. Sorry, I haven't updated that command. I should probably do that. I should do that right now because that merch form is closed. 1 second. Chat message. Okay, there, I updated it. Perfect. Okay, but yeah, really excited for it. It's gonna be great. And so feel free to get your tickets, come by, hang out, tell your friends, okay, share it. Let's see. Question, is there posters for the concert that we can print it out to put in local coffee shops and stuff? Sailing, that's so nice of you to ask. Like, truly. Thank you for asking that. No, I mean, any way that we can spread awareness and, you know, whatnot for the concert is super appreciated. So I can 100% provide something like that. I cannot print it out for you is the only thing. But if you do end up doing it, like, let me know how much you spent on like printing them out, and like I'll pay you back. Okay, anyone who wants to do it, I will pay you back for however much you spend printing out like the flyers or the posters. But yeah, if you want it, do me a favor, do me a solid, or no, you know what? I'll just send it in the Discord in our designated chat. Let me do that right now before I forget, because you already know Kōri-Oujo will fucking forget. There's a bug in here. I can't. There's too much happening right now. Okay. Let me see. Let me see which one will work best. I have a couple different things that I've created. Creation. Let me see. Okay, this might work, and then let me see what else might work. Just so you have like some options if you prefer one or the other. Hold on. Oh, you know what? This doesn't have a QR code on it. I will make, actually, you know what? Let me send it to you after, because I want to add the QR code to this. And it's currently not on it. So let me do that. Let me do that first, and then I'll send it to you. Oh, dude, I just saw the bug. And I can't kill it. Let me write it down, though. Okay, hold on. Poster. Okay, thank you so much for asking that, though, because I legit was, like, struggling to figure out, like, what to do about that. Because, yeah, but that would be great if you do happen to have the time and the capacity to do it, you know, that'd be awesome. Again, like, I am more than happy to, like, pay you for your time or reimburse you the money. As long as you send me proof that you did post them up, then, like, I'll pay you back. Don't worry about it. Let's see. When and how will it be able to stream it? So it's going to be streamed on my Twitch here on Kōri-Oujo.tv, whatever, twitch.Kōri-Oujo.tv, whatever. This channel that you're watching it on right now, on this platform, on Twitch only though, not on YouTube. Only on Twitch because YouTube will copyright strike us for the songs that the other soloists are playing and stuff, or singing and stuff like that. So only on Twitch, okay? Keyword, only on Twitch. It starts at the same time that the concert itself starts. So 4 p.m. PST, which is, god damn it, 4 p.m. PST, because that's Las Vegas time, 6 p.m. CST, and then 7 p.m. EST. That's when it starts, okay? One of those time zones I hope is yours. I always have to say it in that order. Anyway. Let's go, yee. Oh yeah, congrats on getting the concert going. Thank you, I appreciate it. I already ordered mine. I'm gonna dance to 3 songs and pass out. There you go. There you go. Exactly. Oh my gosh. There you go. Hell yeah. I won't give you received silent contribution. Did someone else freaking support? Well, thank you for the support. Oh my goodness. We got another donation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If there is a flyer, I can see where to post some. I have a few ideas for my area. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I will post it in the Discord, specifically in the cons event, Isekai Kōri's concert channel. I know that sounds really confusing, but I'm going to post it there specifically. And then, yeah. Or if anyone wants to email Kōri-Oujo@gmail.com, my name, without the accent, Kōri-Oujo@gmail.com. If you were like, hey, can you send me the poster? I can send it to you through email too, if that's easier. If you're not on Discord, because I get it. I hate Discord sometimes. But yeah, whichever one works for you. You can email me asking me for it, and I'll send it to you, or I'll send it on the Discord for everybody. My cat looked up when you said bug. They love hunting bugs. Oh, really? That's so cute. YouTube overlords will smite Kōri for music. No, that's literally what will happen. So yeah, unfortunate. Wait, I didn't give you money yet. Well, somebody did, and I want to thank that somebody for giving me money. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me go ahead and close that. All right. Thinking. I think that's all. There we go. Put that back over here. All right, let me do it. Let me actually throw it up right now in the Discord. Now I think about it, I can just do it really quick. Hopefully. I'll try to be quick with it. Let me do this. Okay. Okay. Okay, I just want to do it before I forget, because usually after stream I'm like, ugh. And that's probably what'll be what's gonna go down. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm not streaming tomorrow. Sorry, everybody. I'm not streaming tomorrow because I have to deal with house stuff. So, sorry about that. Ugh, where do I put this? Okay. Go. One more thing to add here. All right. Okay, so I have something that you can use right here. Right here, right now. Oh, it's an image though. Let me send it as a PDF, because then you can actually like print it out as well. I'll send you both. All right, here we go. Let me get it in here. PNG. Go. Oh, god damn it. Of course. I already have a name of that. Yeah, thank you. There we go. Okay, I'm sending it right now. Oops. Okay, it is in there if you want to take that. That's probably the best. I'm not going to make another one. I think that's good enough. Okay. There you go. Guys are going to get in the house. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. House stuff. Stressful stuff. No, really. Extreme stress. It's it's a lot of paperwork, honestly. That's what the house is right now, is paperwork. Posted already. Dang it, I'm getting anxious. I posted it. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't work well under pressure. I get gassy. Especially after lasagna. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a hoe, alright? Homeowner. So many donations this stream. Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all of the freaking donos and all the support. Thank you for helping us out, helping us reach our goals and surpass those goals. Thank you. Thank you for the freaking dono. Thank you. Oh my gosh. What is up with y'all, okay? Okay. Anyway, thank you, everybody. All support for Kōri is gonna make me cry. You're also the fucking best. Ah, Hunter, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for supporting me, for just being on the stream and checking this video out. Yeah. That is it. That's all I have. And I am exhausted now, so I think I'm gonna log off here. But thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope all of you, whatever you decide to do, pursue your passions and pursue what makes you happy, okay? So that's the biggest takeaway from what we talked about today, okay? Thank you. Love seeing Kōri thrive and get my... Thank you, Dun. Heck yeah, I appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody being here. I learned a lot. Thanks for... thank you, Zio. I'm glad that I could be somewhat helpful. Thank you. I hope it's educational. Thank you. Wow, everyone's saying thank you. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. Hopefully, we can continue to reach the rest of our goals and continue to be our passionate selves, as per usual. So, yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. All right, y'all. Let's see what we are going to close out with. I won't be streaming tomorrow, like I said, be busy with the house stuff, but I will be back, okay? I will be back on Thursday. We're going to play the new Assassin's Creed game. I'm so excited. I really want to play it, so I'm like hype about that, basically. So I'll see you all there, all right? Can't wait for it. We are going to go ahead and raid. We're going to raid, hold on. I fricked that up. We are going to raid Kōri. It is Kōri's birthday. Donathon. That's what she's celebrating. If you'd like to hang out, check that out. They're playing Marvel Rivals, I believe. Yes, Marvel Rivals. Yes, that's what they're up to. You want to check that out? Be awesome. Good time. But yes, have a good night, everybody. And take care. And I appreciate all of you. And... I'll see you on Thursday. Let's go for Assassin's Creed. Let's go. I'm probably going to start the stream early because I really want to play it. I pre-ordered it and everything, okay? Anyway, all right. Good night, everyone. Oyasumi nasai. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Kōri.
GG's, guys. I guess GG's, right?
It's because we didn't let